stop him. Do whatever you have to do to stop him. You know, the ones that were knocking him over the head were afraid of the fact that he might swing back. So they said, no, he's teaching hate. He's violent.
Black skin, white mask. Already know that life gets hard. And they say that we're used to the harshness. If it wasn't for the pain, I'd laugh. Truth is, we knew about light before dark. Turned music to art and taught everyone to dance. And still no chance. Freedom must be too much to ask. Bleeding from the ache in my heart. Sometimes I wish it was whites in the middle like France. No, I'm not racist, just jarred. Got hate before bush, not plants. They say we should leave it all in the past, but my brother's still dying on the end, so I can't. So if my attitude stinks, don't ask, cause a hashtag won't help you understand my stance. Fuck a melody, this is real rap if you ever see. Head hot, cause the system won't let me be. Tell me how I thrive in a place that don't cherish me. And they wonder why we all need therapy. Pre the energy, yeah, just another nigga to Penelope. And they don't get it how we bottom of the barrel and still drip sauce on the world, no recipe. Weight of the world on my shoulders, all the pressures in life still tightly holding. We pour libation for all of the fallen soldiers, but the pain still goes unspoken. They want us to stay broken, never gonna fold, fuck folding. I see my people lost hope, shit, don't you know we all been chosen.
We are oppressed, we are exploited, we are downtrodden, we are denied not only civil rights but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy.
Forgive me if you don't understand. Sorry, I'm just misunderstood. Punished if I try to take a stand. Meanwhile, my friends dying in the hood. And you can say that we're killing ourselves, but truth is they're killing us still. How you saying Black Lives Matter, but never took a moment to help? Just a trend that you post for yourself. And yeah, it takes a toll on my health, cause I want wealth like everyone else. But it's 10 times harder for me, and they wonder why my brothers put food on a scale. Yeah, when I die I'll see heaven, that's real. Cause we already living in hell. Wish I could share all the pain I felt. Oh well, I guess I won't speak till my scars do heal. I just wanna be black with a meal. Yeah, that's for every time I had no meals. Cause my mother couldn't keep up the bills. With a handful of kids, no home, just a cell. And I don't care if conscious don't sell. Knowledge brings height to an elf. Went from sitting on thrones to a cell. Been blessed, man, it wasn't by chance we fell. Weight of the world on my shoulders, all the pressures in life still tightly holding. We pour libation for all of the fallen soldiers, but the pain still goes unspoken. They want us to stay broken, never gonna fold, fuck folding. I see my people lost hope, shit, don't you know we all been chosen.
Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Yeah, this is real life. Kaa kimya skia. Real talk. We're coming from the ghetto. Kinondoni, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania mpaka UK. The world finest. Yeah. Pambana kijana. Life is too hard, life is too short. Shaa kwa nangu ocha ghetto. Usikate tamaa. Jua kwamba ipo siku tutatoboa. Tutatoka. Gang for life.
I am the true name, true name.
Yes, blessed love family, blessed love, blessed love, blessed love. Welcome back once again to Afua Speaks Community Conversations. I haven't got a toothache. I have to do this because I've got no green screen. It's torn. So if you've noticed the last few lives, I'm kind of going in and out like I'm some sort of bot. I look like I belong to AI or something, people. Can you believe it? So I have to do this. So it stabilizes. It's really weird. I don't know. I'm going to have to get a green screen back anyway. I'm going to attempt to switch monitor. You see what I mean? I'm glitching in and out, guys. It's crazy. I'm going to attempt to switch monitors in the middle of things, basically. I'm going to attempt to do that. Blessed love, my people. Blessed love, Grandma Liz. Love, peace, and unity. I see ya. Blessed love to the mods who are in the clouds. Blessed love. His time is up, family. Phew. Let me do this. Make it look like I've got some kind of toothache. It's still not working. Shit. We've got it over and done with. I am so relieved, people, that we've got the march out of the way. There's so many things that I'm letting go of as well. I'm going to go into that next week. Yeah, I'm going to go into next week. I'm going to bring you guys well up to speed next week. There's been so much going on in the background. Some of it you know, some of it you don't. And I'm going to bring you up to speed next week as to actually what has been happening and what the next moves are for 2025 going forward, to be fair. But yeah, tonight we are going to be talking about the state of the Hebrew Israelite Church. You know, I really want to talk about that, actually, because it's a school of thought, a doctrine that is actually really close to my heart. And it's close to my heart because I have studied, I've sat in those schools of thought. You know, I've sat in that school of thought. In the inception of it in this country, actually, I met a man called Moksha from the Impregnable People, from the Ben Ami's set, who are the original Hebrew Israelites who left America in 1967, purged themselves in the Liberian interior for 2 years. Purged themselves in the Liberian interior for 2 years. And then they went in 1969, the year I was born, and presented themselves in Israel, at which point they burnt their American passports. That is the Impregnable People. As far as I know, that is the kind of inception of what we in the UK know as the Hebrew Israelites. There's lots of sort of splinter groups that have come out of that. And one of them is dubious, to say the least. At least one of them that I know. But we're going to go into that a little bit later on. They have a long history here now. I mean, I first met this brother called Moksha, who's probably dead now. He was old then. 1990, maybe, somewhere around there. So he was with a group of missionaries from the camp in Damona in Israel. And they had come to England to basically spread the word and, you know, as missionaries do, to set up their religion and their belief system in the UK, you know, just a little bit after the nation did it. So, and there was others as well, you know, there was what was known as Ansaru Allah at the time, who later became something else and something else and something else until we went right up to Rabboni. And those guys, I can't even remember their name now. Somebody told me, the Rabboni lot. Well, who were they? What was their proper name again? They had so many incarnations, but it was a time of knowledge and renaissance as far as this country was concerned. And you know, I was of that young generation that was just drinking up all this knowledge that was coming in across the water. Because prior to that, we'd only ever known Rasta, really, as Black British people. So here we are today with all these schools of thoughts and lots of people that are very knowledgeable about it, and people that have formed their own churches, their own groups. And it is out of these groups, the Hebrew Israelite group, because there are a few and they're not all the same, that we have this story tonight. Yeah. Without further ado, I'm going to bring our testifier. Let me call her that on tonight. She's not hiding her face. She's a very brave sister. She's not even hiding her name. Blessed love, Hannah.
Hi.
Blessed love, sister. Blessed love. You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. I don't know if it's deliberate that you're darked out, but that's fine if you are.
Can you see me now?
Oh yeah, there we go. I know that you were anxious to not hide, you know, and it's not even hiding. Some sisters need to not show their faces, you know, and we respect those that don't wish to show their faces. But we always celebrate, my sister, those who do show their faces, because it is that bold move of speaking your truth unabashedly, you know, without hiding, that we promote on this platform. So blessed love for that, my sister. Bless up. So yes, my sister, I'm having all sorts of technical difficulties, as you know, today, and I'm still busy selecting and uploading the plethora of information that you've given me. You have given me so many receipts, my sister. It's unbelievable. All of them I cannot show because there is an ongoing police investigation about this case, isn't there? And I want to make that very, very clear to people that you have you've been very candid with the police, and you have said to them in no uncertain terms that they need to do their job, and that you feel that you want to do what you call your job, which is protecting your daughter and protecting the community of people that know this individual. And that's why you're here today, and you are. Yeah, bless up for that, my sister. Bless up. So just tell us in your own words, sis. Like, first of all, let me just I'm just trying to sort something out. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your name, how old you are, how many children you've got, that type of thing. I'm going to turn the camera off for a little bit. I'm going to do that a lot while I straighten this whole live out, because it's all over the place at the moment, technically wise, you know. I just need to sort a few things. Tell us a bit about yourself, my darling.
I'm Hannah. I'm originally from Haringey. I'm 35.
Mm-hmm.
I have 3 children, 1 mine and 2 with this
individual. We'll get onto his name in a second.
Individual for now, but yeah, he's this. What this Hebrew? Because that's what he likes to call himself. He likes to call himself a Hebrew Israelite. So this Hebrew Israelite, I have 2 of his children. You know, so let's call him that. And yeah, he's put me in this horrible situation. And
did you know about the Hebrew Israelites beforehand?
Okay, so when I first met him when we were teenagers, he was just normal. He didn't have no religion. He was completely atheist. There was no religion whatsoever. And then after he went to prison and came out of prison when he was like 22, 23, then all of a sudden he's a Hebrew. And then he's growing dreadlocks and all sorts. And he's turned vegan. That was
the influence of his family, wasn't it?
Yeah, his whole family, they all grew dreadlocks, they all turned vegan, they all started trying to talk Hebrew, and all started to change the way they live their life and celebrate Shabbats and
Which, I mean, look, in on itself is not a problem, you know. People take on schools of knowledge all the time. It's not an issue.
Yeah, if you're going to do it properly, that's fine.
Sorry?
If you're going to do it properly and practice it properly, that's fine. But if you're just going to...
And of course, that is always the issue, you know.
You know?
So your understanding of the Hebrew religion was what exactly?
I had none whatsoever. I've literally just learned about it through him. And his father. And to me, being around him and the knowledge that I got from his family is that it's like a cult. Like the way they are.
You view it?
In their family.
The
way they are. It's like they're in some weird cult, and it's like you have to obey his father, and everyone has roles to play and how they talk to each other. It's just weird. Like the level.
So you were never into any real part of it yourself, or did you kind of start to take it on parts of it in terms of knowledge? I don't know.
But when it comes to living together now, it's like he never stuck to any of his ways, should I say. So it's like if I tried to enforce it, it would be like you're not really sticking to what you say, you know, and that we would challenge it.
I know a little bit about it
all the time, you know, because that's why we'd argue, you know, because I would challenge him a lot, you know, on the way he talks. But sometimes, you know, you want to talk all religious when it suits you, and you want to be all religious when it suits you, you know, and then you've got this whole other side to you, you know, and there's just something not right about you. Like I said, knowing him as a friend or outside of a relationship or outside of a family home, he's 2 different people.
So how long did you know him before you got with him, basically? Because you knew him before, didn't you?
Yeah, like 16 years.
Okay. How did you guys actually meet in the beginning? How did the relationship start in the beginning in terms of friendship?
We had mutual friends. He went to the same school as my my cousin and stuff, and my siblings. Like, and we had mutual friends.
Okay.
We come from the same area, you know.
Right. So yeah, pretty much grew up around each other in that way.
Yeah. Like my family
Yeah.
are his neighbors, you know. Like you're just right on my doorstep. You're on everyone's doorstep. So it's like, how can you just, be this undercover person for like 2 decades? You're just like, it's
Mhm.
just amazing. It's amazing, like how you've kept this up for so long,
Right.
But
So let me backtrack a little bit. Sorry, I was pretty much just asking you a lot of banal questions to keep you going while I was doing what I was doing. So you knew him as a friend from beforehand. Am
yeah,
I stabilizing now? I might not need to switch
yeah, we
micers.
did date a
You knew
little
him.
bit when we was younger. We did date for a few months, and then I
Okay.
thought he was like a bit immature for me because he still lived at home. He had a curfew and all sorts, and I had my own house. And like I just thought, you're a bit, when you grow up, we'll see, but not now,
Mhm.
you know. So
Here's who
we
we're
just
talking about, guys. Just to let everybody know, now that I've got that up. Here's who we're talking about. This is what he looks like now. This is what he looks like before he cut his locks, and this is what he looks like now. So this guy, you were his friend. That obviously then culminated into a relationship. At what point did that happen, and how did that happen?
recently in 2021,
Mm-hmm.
he contacted me. And yeah, he was just like, "How are you?" Being all nice and friendly, whatever, and just generally just chatting, like asking me what I've been up to and like how I am and stuff. And I was just like, "I'm good." And then he was like explaining, like, because I asked him like, because I know he's got kids and I know he was in a relationship and stuff. So I was like asking how
Mm-hmm.
everything was, and he's like, he's single now. So I was like, "All right, cool." So then we met up like a few days later after talking, and then he was like, more talking. I'm not going to get into all of that bit. um, yeah, and then
So
after like,
just gather your thoughts there a little bit. I just realized that for people that haven't seen the Instagram or the Facebook post, we're talking about Leon Good. Leon Good, who is allegedly, and we are saying allegedly because there's an ongoing police investigation. He's yet to go to court, or the CPS are yet to even charge him. Okay, there's an ongoing police investigation. Obviously, we're hoping that he will be charged, and that it will culminate in a conviction. But at the moment, it's alleged. You can speak your truth as much as you want, my sister, but we need to say that it is alleged, regardless of what I believe. In my honest opinion, after viewing all the things that you've shown me, I'm inclined to hear you. Yeah. So let's go forward with that. And so you met him. It was through kind of, you just bumped into him, basically.
no, he contacted me on Facebook, because I was bored at the time. I had my hair all bored, so he messaged me because he thought I had cancer, and I was like, "No, I don't have cancer. I'm all right. I'm good. How are you?" Kind of thing, and how are your kids and stuff,
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, they're good, but he's not in a relationship and stuff, whatnot." Anyway, it was his dad's birthday. He said, "Come down, see me, whatever." Came down, saw him and whatnot, had a catch up, whatever. And then a few
Yeah.
days later, he was like, "Oh, like I miss you," because obviously we went out previously, and he was just like saying, "Oh, I should have just stayed with you, because every relationship after you's just been a mess, and whatnot,
Uh-huh.
And then he was like, I want you to be my girlfriend."
Right. So he made the move on that. You've frozen, sis. You've frozen. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh,
there you
got you
go.
back, got you back. Yeah, sorry, you
2
frozen
days
again.
after that, 2 days after that, he then proposed to me.
So how long
And I
ago
was
is this?
like,
This was a couple of years ago.
this was 2021.
Okay.
So this was April 2021, yeah. And I was like to him. So then after like a week, yeah, he told me about like his ex and stuff and the lies that she tried to say about him, and obviously I know him, so I know they're not going to be true and whatnot. So now I was
Right.
like, okay. And then obviously speaking to our other mutual friends as well and stuff, they were, listening to all parties. I was like, all right, cool. Well, we'll see what happens with the police and whatnot. And he was NFA'd, no further action and stuff like that, you know? So he was happy, obviously. But then I find out that he is a child abuser, you know?
Okay,
And
before we
he's
get to that
still,
part, all right. So he basically woos you, so to speak.
yeah,
He gets
yeah.
in with you, he woos you, and then you get into a relationship with him.
Tries to woo
Yeah.
me. We get into a relationship, but I'm standoffish. I don't open up to him. I keep myself reserved, and I'm
Right.
questioning everything because I want him to prove what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? Because if it don't make sense, I'm gonna ask questions, innit? You know, I know you, so like we can talk about it. You know, so it was more of a like it wasn't like a happy relationship because I was always on top of him.
Right.
So
I'm with
you know. Like I
yeah.
questioned everything from the beginning, but he kept twisting and deflecting everything, you know. But like I said to you before, I can't put words into a child's mouth,
Right.
you know.
So basically you're in a relationship with him and everything seems
Yeah.
okay at this point. At what point do you get pregnant? Because you've got 2 children for him now, right? Is it 1 or 2?
I get pregnant like 5 months, two. I get pregnant 5 months after being with him.
That's pretty quick.
Mm. Yeah, because here's the thing. He doesn't like medication. He doesn't like contraception. He doesn't like anything. And he's like, if I'm going to be with you, I'm going to marry you, I'm going to give you everything. You don't need these things because I'm a real man. Is his whole speech, you know? Yeah.
So you get pregnant, you have the baby, you're
So,
trying to make life, make a family with yourselves. But you had a daughter from before, didn't you?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was
So she was how old when he entered the house?
she was 13 at the time
Oh, okay.
when I
So
got
your
with
daughter's
him.
13. How did they get along?
Oh, my daughter's autistic, so she's very reserved and very quiet. She keeps herself to herself, you know. So she hid away at first, and she just kept herself to herself. And he was more trying to make her feel comfortable, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and just trying to just do too much. And then
When you say do too much, explain what you mean by do too much. What was his actions around her? So he was trying to get along with her naturally, but when you say too
yeah,
much, what do you mean?
like just be like that, or just let her try to give her what she wants, like, you know, like whatever you want you can have, you know. And it's like she can't just have her own way all the time, you know, like. And that's what he tried to do throughout the whole relationship, just buy her whatever she wants and give her whatever she wants, you know, right down to alcohol, weed, anything she wants he will just buy, give her, you know. And it's like, you're doing too much, you need to stop. You know, I was literally trapped in between the both of them. It was crazy. And like anything I said, he would twist it, deflect it, or blame it on school and be like, she's only going to go to school and do it. She's only going to with her friends and did it. And it's like, no, that's not the case. You know, so it was a lot of arguments and a lot of physical altercations, which I won't get into. But yeah. And I always told him, you know, if it ever came to like,
1 minute, my sister. I'm trying to switch screens. Oh no, what is going on here? Right, let me see what's going on here. Right, I'm back. I think I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
You're muted. Hold on. Right, brilliant. That's a little bit better for me, I think. I don't think I'm going in and out quite as much, am I? Yeah, there we go. So yes, my sister, continue. So you have a relationship with him. He's trying to do the most, like shower your daughter with gifts.
Yeah, like he's making more of an effort with
that kind of thing.
He's making more of an effort with her than with me, and he thinks by making a more of an effort with her is going to impress me. But I'm thinking, no, that's not what I want. That's not what, you know. And just he's very good at deflecting and trying to blame other things, you know. And I just thought, okay, you know. But I always like said to him from the beginning, like, if you ever did anything to me, I'll be the worst person you could do it to. You know, because look where we are now. You know, I'm not the one. So he always
what
tries to.
happened when you first became aware. Can you hear me? Explain
Yeah.
what happened when you first became aware that there'd been an allegation against him. When was the very first time that you were aware that there'd been some sort of allegation against him for molesting children?
When he told me, like 2 weeks after we started talking, he told me that the real reason why why he broke up with his ex. Well, he told me his version of why he broke up with his ex, and that these are the lies that she's trying to say because he doesn't want to be with her anymore, and the kids don't like him, and they're just jealous of him, and because their dad's dead and he's got other children with her, and you know, just all the stories that he's basically trying to say about me now, which is convenient but not. And you know, and he's like, obviously she can't prove nothing because nothing happened. And I was like, okay, well, the police will figure that out, won't they? You know? And yeah, and the way she went about things, everyone's got their way of going about things, but it's not how I would have went about things, you know, because you gave him a free ticket to walk, you know.
So this was his previous baby mother or girlfriend?
This is his previous baby mother. He has 2 kids with her also.
He also has 2 kids with her. And the allegation against him on that occasion was that he had what exactly?
Sexually abused her. He sexually abused her 2 children.
Hers or his? She had 2 before.
Her children. Her children from her previous relationship. This is what he does. He will get into a relationship with women that have children, female children. He won't get into a relationship with someone that's got boy children, only female children. And then he makes sure that they're vulnerable. Like see me, I'm just me by myself. See her partner just died. The kids just lost their dad. You know what I mean? So he's trying to, you know, seek someone vulnerable that he can think, oh, I help you. I'll be, you know what I mean? And then he thinks, I will have children with you. And if I have children with you and your kids say anything, I will use our children to manipulate you. You know? And it's like, I'm not buying it.
So what happened when you found out, when he told you that this was going on? How did you feel? How did you respond to that?
When I found out it was happening to me or her?
No, when you found out that these allegations had gone on with him and his previous partner and her children, what was your initial response based on what he had told you?
Well, when I spoke to a few other people, I'm not just going to go on what he tells me, you know. I need to see what the rest of the people were saying, you know. And they were pretty much saying what he was saying. So it was like, okay, cool. And then it was more or less like, I'm going to see what the police were saying, you know. So I spoke with the police. I want to know what evidence they got, what they're saying. And they basically had nothing, you know. So... And because she was talking about the situation and how she was talking about the situation, it can be portrayed that she's trying to set him up. So again, how she went about things didn't go in her favor, you know?
Right, I'm with you.
The fact that she gave him time as well, and she didn't just report it straight away, and you know what I mean? She went about it completely differently.
We know here on this platform can is not necessarily an indication of guilt. We know that, you know, and I think you know that now. But at the time, you went with the narrative, which was that most people thought that this was a bit booky, and you know, they believed him, right? Along with his family, his father, and everybody else. Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't look at a situation until you're in it, and then you can see it from, you know. Because obviously, when you know a person, you don't think they're ever going to be that type of person. Because the way he acts, the way he talks, the way he is, it's like, I would never be gay, I would never be a pedo, I could never be a rapist. You know what I mean? The way he goes on about these type of people, it's like, you would never think he's one of these people. And he tries to play, I'm a family man, I'm a nice guy, you know, I'm a protector, I protect people, I look after people, you know. That's the kind of thing he wants to go for, you know, the image he's looking for. So you wouldn't think it, but then, like I said, when you're in the situation like me, like I said, I was aware. So I was always studying him, you know. So it's like, that's why we argued a lot, you know, because I was up his ass, you know, because I was trying to be on point, you know. And
see, I mean, you get involved with a guy, and you don't know for sure, and you know that women can be a bit evil that way. So you're kind of balancing it, but at the same time, it's put you on cock a little bit. So you're sort of looking out for certain things. Is it true? Is it not? Maybe not. Type of vibe.
yeah,
Is that
like,
what you mean?
You know, thinking like, if anything, my daughter would speak, you know, because that's the kind I like to think that's the way I raised her, you know. So worst ways, she'd speak, you know. If anything was to go wrong, she'd speak, you know. So there was loads of red flags. So when I questioned every single one of them, which led to every argument, you know, hence why the relationship was never going to last. But
describe the red flags to us, sis. What kind of, you said loads of red flags. What kind of red flags were there?
my daughter's never said his name. You know,
that's
her self-harming, you know. She was unhappy when the babies came along, you know. She wasn't happy with my second pregnancy, you know. Every day was just an argument.
Did you just put her unhappiness down to that, the fact that she was having to share siblings, or, you know, get new siblings and stuff?
No, because we moved to a new area and she started a new school and stuff like that. I had to consider both factors, and how he's gonna try to say it's because of school, it's because you're in a new area, it's because of this, it's because of that. You know what I mean? And even if I went to the police, hypothetically speaking, on a hunch or on a whatever, it can be interpreted as that. You know? So I am very mindful of these things. Hence why I have the evidence that I have, you know.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You would sort of attribute it to different things, like you said, moving, having to settle in and stuff. Yeah.
And she's autistic, so I've got to bear in mind certain things and how people can portray certain things also, you know. So it's like,
right, that makes sense.
You know, and he knew I was onto him, you know. So it's like he's thinking, does she know, and is she pretending, and is she playing me, or doesn't she know, and is she trying to figure me out, you know? And it's like, I can see he's trying to, he knows I know, but do I really know, you know? And it's that type of attitude every day in the house, you know. And he just started working and working and working and working, so he was never home, you know. So it's like working and working and working all the time. But by this time, you've already done what you've done, so it don't matter.
But you didn't know at that time, when he was working and working and doing what he was doing, you didn't know at that time.
No.
So what happened going forward then? So you're aware of these allegations, you haven't believed them for a bit, and then suddenly what happens?
He gets NFA'd. There's no further action from the police. There's no evidence. There's no nothing. I'm obviously watching his behaviour, and he's got very strange behaviour. But obviously he's blaming it on missing his children and whatnot and stuff like that. And it's like, I said, all right, if you get back your children and you're still the same way, then this relationship's not continuing, because that don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? So he had loads of ultimatums, like loads of them, like, because I'm not here for that, you know. And in my mind, I'm also thinking like these kids as well, you know, because we've got to share the kids, you know. So it's like I'm trying to be technical and careful because I got children with him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to be fair to his children, our children, fair to our children, and I'm trying to be fair to my daughter, you know.
I understand.
So
Yeah.
so I was in a hard place, you know, which is what he put me in. So like after I think 6 months after I had the second baby is
Uh-huh.
when I found out, you know.
So your daughter disclosed to you.
Yeah, my daughter had the confidence finally
Mm-hmm.
to disclose to me what he was doing to her,
Big up your daughter. Yeah.
you know. So I didn't do what the first baby mother did,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't want to act on emotions because, you know, I wanted to look at the bigger picture because I've watched his behavior for the last 3 years and how he's deflected and twisted and blamed everything on me, and how he's literally smashed up my whole house and just loads of shit, like attacked me, all sorts. So
So there was domestic violence in the lead up to all of this anyway. You already kind of got your eye on
yes,
him. You're not quite
yeah,
believing it, but you've sort of started to see things from him that's making you question the original allegation in terms
yeah,
of,
because
you know, his
like after work when he comes home, I'll go through his phone, you know, so I would see that on his phone he's watching like looking up porn, like stepdaddy, stepdaughter, and all these weird nasty things, you know. So like I would see that, and I thought, okay, I'm not gonna question him on it, and I'm not gonna, you know, I can't directly ask my child anything, you know, because
Why did you feel you couldn't directly ask her anything, even after all those suspicions, sis?
to be honest with you, one, I know the answer,
Yeah.
and two, I let her down, and three, I need her to say it by herself. Because if I ask her and she says what I already know, and then I go and tell the police, it can be interpreted that I put words into her mouth.
Okay.
So I now need to
Mm-hmm.
look at the bigger picture because, like I said, he has a history of this. And obviously, he's like, didn't want me to meet his family, didn't want them to know I was pregnant, didn't want them to meet the children, had every excuse in the sun, like, you know. And I'm just thinking, so you're going to wait until you get your other kids back, you know, access to them, and then they can see all your kids at once, you know, because it's like they're not helping him, they're not supporting him, they put him here, and it's everybody's fault why he lost his kids, you know, like literally. It was like, we argued about this.
Got a bad connection tonight, sis. You've frozen. We might have to wait for you a little bit.
Yeah.
Cool, you're back.
Oh no,
You
I'm here.
froze.
Yeah, I messaged. Yeah, so he didn't want me to be around his family or know his family, so I started to make my own phone calls to the family. So when I found out, what I actually did do, I'll tell you what I did do. After I hugged my daughter, of course, I went on Google and I Googled how do you talk to pedophiles, you know, and I just read about them, you know, what their traits are, you know, how pedophiles are even pedophiles, and, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, and, you know, and I just learned, studied it, and then I thought, okay, I'm going to approach him in a way that he's going to open up to me. So when he did come home from work, I immediately broke up with him, of course. I didn't give him a reason why. And he was okay with that. He was okay with that, which is bizarre. Because
It's
in his
interesting,
soul,
isn't it?
in his soul, he knows why, you know? And normally, when I'm not happy, he would message my daughter and be like, "Why is your mum not happy? You know, tidy up, do the dishes, do whatever your mum says. Whatever." But this time, he never messaged my daughter to say, "Why is your mum unhappy?"
So in a way, he guessed maybe.
Yeah, he's just playing me. So at this point, I thought, okay, cool. So he's gone back to work. Thinking, okay, well, hopefully when you calm down, we can talk and whatnot. So I just to buy myself a few days so I could process, that this guy's actually a whole pedo. Like, I really got to process this, because it's like, you bring children into the world as a cover. You want to be a family man as a cover, so that you can abuse kids, But like I said, I started to I come to him after a few days and said to him, this has been brought to my attention, and he wasn't shocked. Like, he more looked like, oh my God, is Hannah gonna believe her daughter over me? That was the kind of look he had on his face, and I knew what he was gonna say, because there's nothing he can say. He literally said the same thing that he said about the last ex. But I'm thinking, that doesn't make any sense. So he said, basically, just spend time with her. She'll change her mind. She's just jealous of the children. She's just, jealous of us. Spend time with her. And I'm thinking, that doesn't make any sense. She's not jealous of us, because you're never home. And it's only me, her, and the kids. Like, I'm confused. Like, that doesn't make any sense, And that's not the kind of reaction that I'm looking for when I'm telling you that she's telling me that you've done inappropriate things to her, And he's trying to remain calm, So I just said to him, listen, I've known you for since we were kids, all right? And if you say that I'm your person and all the things that you've said and and we got kids together, whatnot, obviously you got to be 100% real with me, because obviously if you've got this sickness, I call it a sickness, an illness, there's some support, there's medication, there's treatment, there's therapy, there's things you can actually do, if you want to help yourself, you don't want to be this person. Because obviously throughout the relationship, he kept talking about these demons and these spirits every flipping minute. Not that I know what they are, but now I know what they are. They're your pedos.
Yeah.
They're your pedo demons. But you're trying to use it in another context, but that's not. I get it now, So I was like, if you want to fight these demons, you can't be fighting them by yourself, because obviously you haven't accomplished that, because you've decided to be a nonce while So I was thinking, he still tried to deny, and I was like, listen, I made some threats, let him know my position. And obviously my daughter's autistic and stuff, so I need to be able to talk to her, and I need to, you know what I mean? And I could see that he wanted me to forgive him, give him a chance. So I said to him, obviously, I haven't called the police, I haven't done anything to you, I haven't nothing. So I'm giving you an opportunity to be completely honest with me, so we can work through this, because I didn't plan on having children and being in this type of situation. I would have just stayed with me and my one kid by myself, you know what I mean? You can't try to offer me a fairy tale and then I'm just lumbered with kids that I didn't need to have, So he was just very apologetic, and then he was crying, and then he finally admitted to what he'd done. And obviously he said the same thing my daughter said, so I knew he wasn't lying. So I thought, okay, cool, that's a start. All right, cool, that's a start. But I told him,
just to stop you very quickly, sis, just so that people can really understand. So you basically baited him. You had to kind of play the game a little bit, pretend that you were empathizing, telling him that he needs help, but you were very careful to keep him away from the kids because he was literally sleeping in his car at the point when you found out, wasn't he? So you were kind of baiting him. You're not saying I'm kicking you out, I'm leaving you, I will try and help you. You can't come near the children. And he seemed to comply with it.
Yeah, I kept him separate from my kids and my daughter, obviously, you know, and he was more than happy with that, you know, because obviously, you know, he was happy that I was giving him any type of chance, to be quite honest, you know. He was just very thankful that I'm even speaking to him, you know, and not getting him killed. So, yeah, he was in his car, just kept talking to him every day because obviously we was talking about his ex and her children, you know, because obviously I've confronted him about her children. Obviously they wasn't lying then, because I've read all the police reports and stuff of what they've accused him of and what they've said and stuff like that. He hasn't read any. He hasn't read any of the police reports. I read them all, so I know that they've said the same thing that my kids said, and they ain't even met each other. So I've confronted him, like, so they weren't lying, you know. And obviously he's crying, he's embarrassed and whatnot.
And we know too well here on the His Time Is Up platform that they always have the same MO with every child that they... And I'm not saying that he is, because it's still alleged, but my experience of working with paedophiles and doing this campaign, we know that they have a pattern of abuse that they enact.
Yeah, so when I was researching about paedophiles and how to talk to them and how they are and how they come about and how they like to, you know, how it happens in families, you know, I think, okay, this is me basically. So he wants to have family, he wants loads of children, he wants to have like 10 kids, you know, he wants everything, you know. So it's like, okay, so you want to have loads of children and like you're going to be nonsense on my kid, you're going to nonce on your kid, you're going to nonce on the grandkids, you're going to nonce on the great grandkids, you're the uncle that nonces, you're just the nonce of the family. That's crazy. So when I worked out, like, that's who he is, that's why he wants to be this family man, this family guy. And like I said, I made some calls, I started speaking to like his sisters and like a few of his nieces and cousins and stuff, and it's like, wow, fuck me, like, he's just been a nonce. Like,
when you say he's been a nonce, talk to me. But you said that you spoke to the family members.
Like, some of them have accused him of doing things inappropriately to them and asking them to do inappropriate things to him, you know. Okay. So they because I did tell his parents, you know. I went and I told his parents, you know, which he was upset about, but obviously I got to tell somebody. I was like, listen, you're not in a position to talk. I didn't call the police. You're lucky I told your parents. And considering they know about the last girlfriend, come on, like, you got a problem and I can't just help fix you by myself. I need some sort of support. And do you want it to be my mum and dad? Because I know what my mum and dad will do with you. So it's best we go to your mum and dad, your Abba and
all
Ima.
of this was part of the play to get what you needed in order to secure, hopefully, a conviction. I understand.
Yeah, so went to Abba and Ima, sorry, not mum and dad, Abba and Ima. And it was all like, shalom, you know, how are you? Polite, respectful, you know, everything. Brought to their attention. They seemed to be nice at first and like, okay, you know, we're sorry, you know, that you're going through this, and the children, we will support you as best as we can with the children and stuff. And you know, I knew it was all fake because it just felt that way, but we can go with it, you know. And they were just saying to him that he has to, like, if he really loves me, then he has to like put the work in and show me, and just like start showing me that he loves me, because, like, you know, she's kind of got you under the thumb right now, you know.
Right.
And you just need to fix the damage in her house that you've done, and you know, you need to be a better man for her, like you agreed to in the beginning, you know, because she doesn't have to be sitting here, and she didn't have to bring you to us, you know, with this information, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
that
that
was
was the
pretty much,
initial response from Abba and Ima, mum and dad, his mum and
yeah,
dad. The initial
yeah,
response when you told them everything about your daughter.
yeah.
Right. They said, well, he's just got to try and be a better man. They were invested in trying to help him, right?
Well, they said to me, well, at first they were like, well, whatever, because I was like, because they were like, so what's happening? Like, what's going on? I was like, I don't know, like, because they want to know what I've said to my daughter, you know. And I was like, well, to be honest, I'm a bit of a shit mum because I've just told her that, you know, I can't call the police because I have got no proof of nothing because you didn't tell me till now, which is no good, you know. You should have told me when it first started happening, because when she told me, you know, he stopped doing it to her, you know, and she thought he was going to do it to her sister, so that's why she told me,
Right.
you know.
That, I
And
mean, look, I will say from my standpoint is hearing what you're saying. Some people might want to judge you, but I think it's an incredibly brave thing to do. It takes a hell of a lot of guts to be able to kind of ride it out like that. Yeah, it takes a hell of a lot of guts.
yeah, because I didn't.
You're not the first sister that we've
Yeah,
had that done that. We've got a case at the moment that's in court based, and it's only in court based on the fact that the sister had to grit down and get those recordings and do what she needed to do. So don't feel
you
no
know
way.
how to do it. Like I said, my daughter, no, I don't. My daughter's autistic. She don't talk. She don't go out. She's not on social media. She's not streetwise. She's none of those things. So it's like her word against his. It's like it's nothing in this type of system that we live in. You know.
Yeah.
And she can barely speak, you know what I mean, without even crying her eyes up. She's not that type of kid. And it's like he made the mistake of, we know each other, we got mutual friends, we grew up in the same ends, we know the same people, we grew around each other's families, like, so people know me, people know I'm a woman of my word, people know my kid, people know my kid's not gonna chat shit about something like this, people know her. So it's like, to do something like me is crazy.
So just very quickly,
So
here's who
it's like,
for those
he
people that have
always used
just
to say, I would never do it to you because it's you. And if I did it to you.
We've got a delay, sis. Sorry. For those people that have just joined, we're talking about Leon Good tonight, who's alleged to have abused several of his stepchildren and also family members, younger family members. It's Leon Good. Go ahead, sis.
So, like, I thought to myself, obviously, I was put in a horrible position, you know, and obviously I had to look at the bigger picture because, like I said, I spoke to the family, obviously meeting the Abba and the Ima and seeing the cult that they come from and speaking to the cousins and whatnot, the sisters, and, you know, because half the family don't like each other. They didn't grow up around each other. They barely don't know each other. And it's like, wow, you got a bunch of strangers in this cult. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. But then I started hearing stuff. So it's like when I tried to put the timeline together, you know, to when I was with him and I said he was a bit weird. So I left him, you know. And around that time, he was abusing his younger niece and cousins. And then he got with his first baby mum and he had a son. And then he went to prison. When he came out of prison, he got with an old lady the same age as his father. Yeah.
Hold on. Stick a pin, sis. Stick a pin. So we're going back to, I need to get the timeline on this. So we're going back to the first baby mother.
Yeah.
Say
So
that
when he
again.
was 7, yeah. So when I did the timeline, because I know him, when me and him were together when we were 16, and I broke up with him. Yeah. Around that time is when he was alleged to have abused his cousin and tried to abuse his niece. You know,
And did that also go to the police?
No, that did not go to the police. That stayed within this weird family.
Right. I'm with you. Yeah.
You know, they like to do that, you know. They don't like Babylon, as they like to say. So, So then he went, and then after me, that's probably why he was weird. That's why I'm thinking, okay, that makes sense. Then he met his first baby mom, and he had a son with her. But then he went to prison. And this is when he's 17. 17, 18. Yeah, 18. And then he went to prison when he was 19. Yeah. And then he came out of prison when he was like 22, 23.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't grow up with his son. Okay. He didn't live with his son, didn't grow up with his son, nothing. But he come out, he got an old lady, and she had children. And I won't get into the things that you said about her, but obviously he moved on quickly from that relationship because obviously I feel like now, he moved on in case one of those children was gonna speak, and it was getting too techie. So he thought, let me just.
But obviously, you found out about the family members after all of this. You didn't know it before when you got with him that, all you knew about was what he told you about the first. Sorry,
I found all this out after. Yeah. So I found all this out after. Yeah. So after I found out, and after I found out, I've done my digging. That real digging, making phone calls, and speaking to family and going back to all his previous relationships, the timeline of his life. From me to back to me. Because I'm the one he lost his virginity to. So, from me back to me. So I've gone through that timeline. So after me is his first baby mom, and then he's gone to prison, then he's come out.
For unrelated offences, I'm taking it. Unrelated offences he went to prison for first.
Yeah, he went to prison for assaulting an autistic person, But now I put the timeline together. He gets angry when he can't suppress his Nazi urges. So that brother was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Right.
Yeah. So now I've studied him and I've read about these people and done my research on these people. He is textbook. He ticks every single box. Like right down to piss in the bed. He does everything that they do. Like literally. So when like I said, I had to look at the bigger picture because I've done digging. So I've gone to the family, whatever. I can see that they're really just weird. They're not really about it. So I'm thinking okay, cool. I need to. He don't want to talk about. He's trying to talk in a certain way, and because he's weary of me and what I'm gonna do. So I just tried to make it clear to him, I'm not gonna pay for your pedo children that you gave me on purpose. Yeah, I'm not paying for them. I don't love your kids, straight up. I do not love your kids. You cannot expect me to love your daughter over my daughter that you've harmed. You can't expect me to protect this daughter from a nonce, and you are one. That's crazy. How am I supposed to love? How am I supposed to love on my child abuser's children? That's just you put me in a really horrible position, and you need to pay for your kids because I ain't paying for them. Yeah, because you intentionally gave me them. Yeah, so he was understandable. He was like, I agree. I want to live for you. I want to live for you. Was his exact words. I want to do whatever I can. Right. All right, cool. But I didn't tell my daughter anything. I, like I said, felt like a shit mum. I had to just say to her, like I told the family, I just said to her, this is the truth. I did just say to her, listen, the fact that you kept it to yourself for the last, at this time, it would have been 2.5 years, that she's probably kept it to herself, you know what I mean? So.
And she's how old now, sis? Sorry. She's how old now?
And she's 17 now.
Right. And she only told you this how long ago? A few months ago?
She told me this in April this year.
Right. Okay.
But it was happening from 2021.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
So I just said to her, if you had spoke up from the beginning, I would have had the option to have an abortion, And even if I don't believe in abortions, I would have had an option to just raise the kid by myself and not put his name on the birth certificate and not have to share no kid with no pedo, you know? So now I'm in a position where I legally share a kid with him. So in the eyes of the law, unless anything is proven, not proven, I have to share those children, you know? Because
Right.
that's the law, you know? His name's on the birth certificate. So I said to her, like, I'm in a really, really horrible position, you know? And if you had told me from the beginning, you know, I wouldn't have had a second kid, for one, you know?
Yep. Yep.
So I was like, him, you know, my daughter shouldn't be here. We shouldn't have a kid, you know? So I've got, you know, my feelings towards your children are going to be a type of way, you know? So I let him know that, and I let her know, like, I'm not going to be sitting down here paying for this pedo's kids because you chose to keep your mouth shut. You know, I didn't raise you that way, you know, and, you know, I needed it to be believable because he was watching her. He wanted to see her reaction and see her energy to see if I'm playing him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was obviously very upset that I'm taking his side over hers, you know? And it was obviously heartbreaking, but you know, I have to, it's the bigger picture here, and I'm not going to let nobody on this planet ever do anything to any of my children. And you think I'm not going to sacrifice and do the maximum? No, you're not going to, no, 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 no. So for like 4 months, I gathered as much information as I could. And the first 3 months, obviously, I didn't let my daughter know what I was doing because I needed it to be realistic and believable, and I need her to act normal, you know, as
Yeah.
she would do. You know, I don't need her acting out of character. Like I said, she's autistic, so she's not good at pretending. She's not good at lying. She's not good at anything. You know, she's just straight blunt. It's not that. So I can't tell her anything. You know, everything's precise with that kid. So it's not no. So after 3 months, you know, she started to get really upset because he started to break the boundaries, you know, like, you know, wanting to like just, he wanted to sweep it under the carpet and just like move on, you know, like, because obviously he's not allowed in the same room as her, or, you know, because after he was sleeping in the car, he wants to come in and have a shower because he's still going to work, because he's still paying for the children, you know, because I'm not paying for these children, you know. He would, obviously I have to make him wait, because if Hazel's doing something, then you wait till Hazel's finished doing what she's doing and she's gone out of the way, you know, because my kids come first. So he started to get a bit annoyed that I was putting my children before him, you know, and it caused a bit of arguments, you know, because it was like, we should just go back to normal. I've said I'm sorry, and let me just prove to you I'm sorry. And how can we move on if we don't go back to normal, you know? And yeah, there's loads of little arguments just so I could. We just kept talking about it and kept talking about it as well. So I kept trying to talk about it with him as much as possible, you know, and just talk about it in a way that, you know, you've put me in this horrible position as a mother, and not just me. You've been putting mothers in this horrible position, because I'm not the only mother in this horrible position, and you know, you're using it as a whole cover, and you've been doing this for a long time. And the fact that you think that you can manipulate me and you can use the same story that you did before is beyond me. I don't know. And the fact that it's just the fact that your parents as well know what you are, and are putting you before their own grandchildren, you know, not even my child, their own grandchildren is amazing to me as well. Like, it's like, wow. But it's like, that's why I have to talk about it, because it's like, you can't do that. Like, you just, and think that like these children or these people are supposed to feel embarrassed and we're just gonna hide away and not speak about it, you know, when you're the one that's shamed. Like when I was watching him and stuff, I could see how shamed he felt and embarrassed he felt. He didn't want me talking loud. He wanted me to talk quietly, and you know, because obviously we're talking in the car, we're talking in the car park, you know. So he wanted to be quiet and stuff, and like I could see how worried he was. When I told his parents, he was like, "Oh, you was horrible and malicious. You know, you're spiteful for telling them. You know, like we should just kept it between us. You know."
The cloak of secrecy.
Yeah, like so he's like, I done it out of spite. So he just showed me how selfish he was. He wasn't caring about what he's done or the damage he's done or the issues he's caused and whatnot. He was just caring about his image. So it was pretty much easy to run with, you know. If you care about your image so much, you pay for your kids, and you know, you've obviously put me in this position, and we'll see how far we get, you know. I don't think it was easy for me. It wasn't easy for me. Like I said, we had loads of altercations, and there was loads of red flags, and I was questioning him and stuff like that. I ended up on probation. Okay. So
is that from fighting with him?
No, that's from him saying it's the school. That's why Hazel's behaving the way she's behaving and stuff. You know, it's the school, it's the school, it's the school, it's the school. So I'm thinking, okay, it's the school. I'm a check the school, innit? So I'm communicating with the school and stuff like that, and you know, I'm thinking, well, as supportive as they need to be, the school, you know. So I didn't do much. I was literally saying, like, you're abusing my kid. Like, obviously something's going on. I let them know that she's self-harming. I let them know that she's not happy. I let them know that, you know, the teachers are not being like, there's teachers in the school that were calling her knobheads and teachers that didn't want to teach her. They wanted me to take off the school role. So I was like this actual whole school did not like this kid. Maybe that's why she's self-harming and she's stressing out and stuff because of school. But she's new here and she literally just went straight into from year 6 to year 10, you know? So she didn't really go to school in year 6. She didn't go to school year 7. We was in lockdown for year 8, year 9. She went straight into year 10. So like it was a big jump for her, you know? So I thought maybe that's why, you know? But obviously I got on probation through my communication, you know? Obviously I can't call certain people child abusers.
Yeah. So listen,
When people get put
stick
on
a pin
probation.
on this. Stick a pin on the.
I had to do 12 sessions.
Sorry, sis. So you had an altercation basically, which is unrelated to any of this because of all the pressure and him sort of trying to manipulate you and whatever. But stick a pin on that just a second, because I have spoken to both Leon Good and his father Danny Good, aka Abba. I've spoken to the both of them, and they obviously tell a very different story to what you're telling at the moment, right? Do you know anyone called Mariam A? Mariam sounds like a Hebrew spelling. Looks like a Hebrew spelling.
Mariam. I don't know if that's Mariam. That's his first baby mum's called Mariam.
Okay. So there's somebody called Mariam A saying that I'll put it on the screen. Somebody called Mariam A. This woman is on video saying, if you break up with me, I'm going to ruin your life. I'm going to kill myself and the kids. She's taken this to social media because she knows she can't win in court. So it could be maybe the Mariam, you know, or maybe it might be the individual themselves, because we're not.
No, I definitely think that's the Mariam I know, because that is what I did say you've put me in a horrible position. Like I want to kill myself. Like my daughter's trying to kill herself. I want to kill myself. These pedophile children of yours should not be here. We shouldn't be here. Like the way I want to die right now. Yes, 100%. Have you lost your mind? Have you lost your mind? Of course.
Let's look a little bit at you know, some of the things that I've looked at. We're not going to be able to show everything, like I said, but I'm going to play some recordings of my conversation with the individual, with Leon, and also of my conversation with Abba. Yeah, and we're going to look at some screenshots and whatever, because they are telling a very different story to you than they are to well, they're telling a different story to the world, really, at the moment. And I think also that Leon is also telling quite a different story to his people, you know, and Mariam might want to. There will be a chance to jump on towards the end, as always. I'll put out the link. If Mariam wants to jump on, she's welcome to do so. I did invite Leon on, but he didn't want to be a part of that, but he was able to talk to me, and he'd rather participate in that way than jump on anyway. Yeah?
Yeah,
So
and he sent Mariam to do that.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Let me play a little bit of our conversation first, and we'll see what he's got to say about it, because you've explained everything. You've explained that you were playing him, he was sleeping in the car, and so on and so forth. But this is what he's got to say. Mute up for me, sis, or I'll mute you, don't worry. Yeah, cool. So you're muted.
Right.
Right, so this is the first conversation that I had with Leon, and I've had a few, actually. I'm going to play this one on my phone, but I have uploaded some of them. There's so many different items.
The last one, she's a crackhead. I was going to leave with the babies. She was just a stress. It was like 2019 grand a year before.
Just bear in mind, guys, that I actually thought I was recording from the very beginning at the ringtone, and this is about maybe a couple of minutes in. So he's kind of like mid-flow, I think, talking about his previous baby mother, who had also made allegations against him. So that's kind of where it starts.
The last one, she's a crackhead. I was going to leave with the babies. She was just a stress. It was like 2019 grand a year before, 23 grand that year that we was down. I was all on benefits, and I was like, how is this money going? And then I realized she's a crackhead. She's doing stuff with her body for money. And I tried to leave. Yeah. So as I'm leaving, yeah, and I'm doing it nicely, yeah, she flipping has a panic attack. So I say, no, I'm going to leave and whatnot, makes the biggest argument, and I calm her down. That's on a Friday, and then on a Sunday they've gone to go to their mom's house at Sunday dinner.
Yeah.
And they took the whole day, and then 11 o'clock my dad's phoned me at night time saying that, oh, Leon, she said that you touch your kids and they're calling the police, and what are you gonna do?
How old were the children?
Not at that time. It was meant to be a time from before. Oh. You know, so the time that I left those kids, they were, I don't know, 12 and 14.
Okay. And has the children disclosed that happened?
Say that again?
Have the children actually said that? Because obviously the police aren't going to run with just what a mother says.
The children said it, but it was all lies, you know, and they could see it was lies, the investigation. I saw the video. You have to do the investigation. I got an apology for that. Yeah, but they have to do an investigation, you know? And I said, that's fine.
But you said you got caught for that, right?
Yeah, but I said, you still haven't let me see my kids. And they say, you have to go through the courts. You have to make money.
So hold on. Court for just access to your kids, or court for the case or the allegations?
Oh, for my kids, I paid for this. This is family court.
It's family court. So it's not.
Stuff and build myself up. That's what I'm saying. Hannah acted like she was helping me. She's like, no, you need to do this. Do this. Save up. Go do this. Do this. Because my dad's done this. He's gone through this. My sister done it to him. You know what I mean? I was like, what? The real actual blood woman.
Hold on, wait. I'm getting confused. Your sister did what?
Well, yeah, Hannah's sister done this exact same thing to their father.
Okay.
What Hannah's doing to me now, and what my ex did. Yeah, trust me. Absolutely pathetic, everybody. Like I said, it's a big story, but I can't be bothered.
Right, okay.
Yeah, can't be bothered.
All right, so just complete madness. These are just, what you're saying is that these are
she's meant to be helping me. She's the evilest of all. She's the evilest of all. And do you know what? Man, women that's been around me and tried to steal me now because they think that I'm free. I literally just, my friend will let you know. Everyone will let you know. All right? I'm very handsome. And that's not me blowing my trumpet. I had to be told this. You know what I mean? So I'm fat. You know what I mean? But I'm flocked by ladies, and I have everything that I need to take care of myself and take care of a woman.
And what about the children in all of this? This is the concern for me.
This is what I'm saying. I'm saying. So my obligation is not to no blasted woman to be coming around me. I have how many children? Yeah, and I've had women come ramp and try and kill me. Yeah, because this woman Hannah tried to poison me, tried to run me, kill me in the car. You know what I mean? She's nuts. I don't need no more women in my flipping life. Yeah? And I don't agree on gays. Yeah, I'm not against it. I wouldn't do it. So I'm very close with my brothers, so I just stay with brotherhood. You know, not gay. I can be a companion in my friends. You know what I mean? I can coach. You know what I mean? I don't need none of them foolish women again. Sorry, not like that. You sound like a really nice person. But if you hear Hannah, I hear the way she speaks. If you see her, she looks like a man. She's horrible. She's just a wicked, nasty person. Nobody likes her. Nothing likes her. Sorry, not even a dog. Yeah? Nothing likes her.
Well, with all due respect, you'll say, I've never seen Anna. I've just spoken to her on the phone. But with all due respect, my brother, you say she looks like a man and that you're not into anything gay, but you had 2 children with her.
Yeah, she looked like a man now. She didn't look like a man when we first got together. When everything all happened, yeah, she grew up to a big woman. She tried to say it's because she got her face punched in by her last boyfriend. Your face don't change like that, yeah, and the attitude don't change like that. Yeah, this is just you. Yeah, so if you take some more time, do your hair. Do up yourself and make it feel look a bit more presentable. Because if I'm going out the house looking like this and you look like that, what the hell's going on? It just looks wrong.
I mean, obviously that's all irrelevant to me. All of that stuff.
Worst ways, we both go out scruffy. We both go out nice. Otherwise, I'm making you look funny. Yeah, and you're making me look funny. It just looks weird.
I'm just kind of thinking to myself.
I try and make her feel confident as a woman to be a woman.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I'm just sort of thinking to myself, Leon, that why choose that? You're both your own, Hannah. Choose those allegations. They could do a lot of things to mess you up.
Hannah drove me in. I wanted no woman. Yeah, just like now, I wanted no woman. I had nowhere to stay. My dad argument kicked me out. I only had that woman supporting me. Yeah, and she jumped in as it all went wrong with me and my dad. Big argument after this first woman's done this to me.
So you're saying that Hannah was aware of what those allegations were? She supported you?
Yeah, she understood the whole thing. Yeah? I'm telling her, like, I don't want to, like, I was like, Kelly could never have done this, like, you know what I mean? It must have been the kids and stuff. And she's the one that let me know that, no, it was her. Yeah, and then we find out, and it was Kelly that's told them, made them do it, because when I see the video from the police and everything that happened, it was that. Yeah, they were all swiggling fingers and stuff and laughing and smiling. They were happy the next day. You know what I mean? Yeah. Apart from the one that loved me, the one that was made to say the worst. Yeah? So it is what it is.
And has there been any other allegations of that nature towards you? Just those 2 women?
Just that woman and this one just jumping on the bandwagon. Yeah, because she knows that she thinks, that's because I've got my stuff. I've got myself in order, being around her. Yeah, but even though she's trying to smash me down and I've managed to build myself and put myself where I was. Yeah, which she's literally tried to destroy now. Yeah, and I put myself there. And then I said I'm leaving. Yeah, she wants to say that she's the one that built me up, so she's gonna destroy me. Yeah, and then here we are. Day before my birthday, she got me arrested, armed police, hoping that I'll get shot. She put guns and drugs in my car, and you know what I mean.
She has guns.
Air guns, but still. Still doesn't matter. Still guns.
But these were Hannah's guns.
No, I got some. I used to do exterminating for pest control. You know?
Okay.
So I was into archery and all of these things. That's what I do. You know what I mean? But Hannah jumped on the bandwagon. You know what I mean? Oh, I want to be like him. I want to come with you to the range. I want to come do this. I want to do that. I want to do that. You know what I mean? So come on, let me help you then. Let's teach you. Do this. So she starts to jump on the bandwagon. And unfortunately, she ends up really good. So she's up my bum. I can't do nothing without her there.
All right. So let me stop it there for just 1 second, people. As you can see there, loads of gaslighting, not really answering my questions, because I'll play some of the others later. But I'm getting to a point here. Yeah. So much of there's more of the same of this. Every question I asked him, he deflected and went back to Hannah. Now, in my experience of these things, it was one of the most interesting reactions I've ever had. You know, usually people who are really guilty either feign complete outrage, yeah, and you can sort of tell they're feigning it, really, because they go overboard. And then there's something in the middle of the road, or there's just complete denial and complete denial and complete denial, and they keep hammering down on this denial, and they'll go to the end of the earth, as we've seen with some of these cases that we've had and whatever, to try to deny. Yeah, this guy wouldn't even talk about it, didn't really get into it. He skirted around it every single time. That's what I realized in my conversation with him, and it was all about gaslighting Anna, gaslighting the source. And I'm saying this is alleged. I'm not saying the man is guilty, but what I am saying is that there are some really interesting, as Anna says, red flags. I would call them precepts, but there's some really interesting things in there that kind of allude to perpetrator paedophilic behavior in terms of denial, in terms of trying to deflect. It's just quite consistent with all of that, in my opinion. In my professional opinion, and also my world opinion of experience, you know? A lot of chat. Thank you, Petit Pois. Bless up, Petit Pois. I see you. So that's that. I'm going to leave that just there because he's spinning a narrative of she's disgusting, I can't stand her. There's lots of really nasty bits in here, you know, and I'm going to get back to them. But he spins a narrative and he gaslights a lot. You know, she looks like a man. She's disgusting. He goes into sexual details. It's really quite nasty what he talks about. I'm going to play some of it, but not all, for the reason that a lot of it is police evidence, what I'm not going to play or show. And for other reasons, it's just too disgusting. It's just absolutely disgusting. And I'm not going to put sister through that, even though you've heard them, sis. It's very interesting, this guy. And he mentions there that, you know, she got police on him and the gun thing. We'll get Hannah to talk about the gun thing in a minute, because I'm quite worried about that and some of the things that he's been saying as well. But he was actually arrested last night, and he was arrested for the domestic violence. Yeah. You can also hear in the recording, in the background of that recording, while I'm speaking to him, there's a load of kids playing around in the background. Now, he's currently on bail conditions where he's not allowed to be around children. And by his own admission, it's in the recordings here, that he has to sign on at the police station once a week. Yeah. Now, I also know that the police don't ask you to sign on once a week. Signing on at the police station, when you get bail, basically, people, for those of you that don't know, right? For when you get bail, they bail you, they give you a return date, and you'll have some conditions whereby maybe you're not allowed to contact the person who's accused you, and, you know, some little light conditions. That is it. And then they give you a bail date, which is usually a couple of months ahead, so that they can get their act together, and they bail you to return. If you are bailed to sign on at the police station, yeah, you're a risk. You're at risk of either absconding because they think you're going to run away, yeah, or you're a risk to children, yeah. In this context, it would be a risk to children because there's so many allegations that have come against you. Police aren't quite sure. They're still investigating. So they're going to ask you to sign on so that you can make yourself visible and known to them on a regular basis. So that's the first thing that I found compelling. And he admits it. It's no secret. He says, yep, he has to sign on once a week. It's consistent with what sister told me before the fact, and everything else that I've seen. Yeah. So he's got to sign on. That's the first thing. And one of those conditions is that he's not to be around children. And there he is, bright as day, just a couple of days ago, speaking to me with children in the background. So sister quite diligently has reported that to the police. So I'm expecting that he's going to get another nicking quite soon. But classic for police, they haven't got their act together enough to have nicked him for the DV last night. Yeah. And then tag that on because they should, but it's two different police forces, right? And sister did make some inroads in trying to get them to join it. But we know very well that these people don't always do what they're supposed to be doing. So what we have at the moment is someone who's a potential risk by the police's estimation, is a potential risk to children and the public, who's slipping through the net, has been around children and has broken his bail conditions. And he's still on the roads because he was let out on the back of the questioning, I believe, by a different police force in Essex. He was picked up in Wood Green and transported to Essex for questioning. But they're still not looking at the fact, or it was Haringey that transported him, I think, something like that. Hannah will clarify, I'm sure. But it's either or either Haringey or Wood Green police that transported him to Essex about the DV, the domestic violence against the sister. They questioned him, bailed him, and he's now back where, I don't know. But they're not picking up on the fact that there's been a report the day before of him being around children and breaking his bail conditions in London. It's insane. But this is how they slip through the net. It's a classic example of how people like that slip through the net. So Hannah also shared with us that his family is complicit, very complicit. And just to kind of, I'm going to unmute you just a moment, sis, just to make sure that everybody knows. Unmute yourself, sis. Just to make sure that everybody knows. Hold on, you've got to mute something else. I think someone's watching.
Quite
yeah.
Can you hear?
So you've given me permission to play some family members, including and we're going to take it from there as well, because there's some very interesting things going on. Sorry, let me mute you because you've got feedback, sis. You're probably watching it as well out of the screen.
Yes.
What feedback, sis? You're probably watching it as well out of the screen. Okay. So, brother's spinning a narrative to people because, as I said, he's in serious circumstances. He might not think he is, and he's kind of spinning me a narrative as well. He came out, obviously, I don't know, in the early hours of this morning. Is it yesterday? Yeah, early hours of this morning. And what I found really, really compelling is that I actually woke up. Let me see if I've got it. I think I did upload it. I woke up to the brother having sent messages about 2 o'clock in the morning to me, which I found interesting. And he also called me about 6 o'clock this morning. Guys, let me show you what I mean, because I'm sure I've got it somewhere. Let's have a look. I'm pretty much sure I did upload it. Yeah, and he sent me some messages as well, quite threatening ones, which were interesting. Have a look, guys. So he sent me this message. As soon as you go live, Hannah will be arrested. This was sent at 1:43 a.m. this morning. As soon as you go live, Hannah will be arrested. I don't appreciate the way you have put my face online. I did tell him I would, and I am. And if I have grounds to sue, I will be. Please fix what you have done and let the law handle it. Sorry, guys, it's quite small on my screen. I'm not giving this woman the energy she wants or deserves. I just want to let the law deal with it and be free of the woman. Please give me a call when you get up and have a second to chat. Thank you kindly, Leon. Good. And he goes on a little bit more to say, just letting you know, I have not been charged for the sex charges, just for the record. Well, have you been charged for the DV? I don't know. Someone will be following her tomorrow. So someone's following Hannah, apparently. So if this crap happens, the police know exactly where to find her. Well, I think Hannah's at home, and I think the police know where to find her anyway. They don't need to follow her. It's all getting a little bit befuddled for me, people, with this guy. Yeah. And I'm going to play another recording as well. I think I've uploaded that one. It's to a guy called Roy, who's a mutual friend of Hannah's and his, an older man. And there's more gaslighting going on, but it's him sort of fronting, building on the narrative that he says that he decided to leave the relationship. You heard him in the recording earlier saying that he decided to leave the relationship. And that's when Hannah decided to replicate the previous allegations from his other partner about her children and try to replicate it with her own autistic daughter. That's his narrative pretty much. It's what he's telling me, it's what he's telling his family, and so on. And it's what he's saying to this guy in a group chat, I believe, that Hannah also belongs to. So where is he? Yeah, let's listen to that one.
Look at this, you dirty, horrible tramp of a woman. Yeah, you think that you can put my face on Instagram and it's all right? I allowed you to have your little temper tantrum because you got a mental problem. Yeah, but I'm telling you, nobody and nothing can save you now. Yeah, nothing. All right. You think you can? Roy saw me in my time of hardness, man. He knows he knows what type of man I am. Yeah, but he don't know my private life, and you think that you can tarnish me as a person. Yeah, don't listen to this dirty tramp, Roy. She's got me arrested the day before my birthday because I wanted to leave her. Yeah, and she's actually gone a bit too far. Yeah, disgusting, horrible person. She hurt my children. She's done everything. And as I want to leave, yeah, she's abusing all the children in the street outside. Yeah, all of the people. Embarrassment. That's a horrible cunt. When I want to leave, she gets me arrested, armed police, everything. Puts drugs in my car and everything. Yeah, on the day before my birthday. That's the type of pussy clout that you're listening or sending photos of me and getting me on Instagram. Yeah, she's trying to get herself in trouble. That's all she's been doing. She'd do it in front of me, hoping that I would beat her up because she wanted to have control. She couldn't have no more control than she had, yeah, because when I was at my weak spot is when she took me in, she had full control over me. As I gained my strength back and become a man, yeah, she's just lost it, thinking, I can't control him now, what's going on? Boom, lost it with me. I'm going to fucking defend myself, yeah? That's all everybody needs to know. I'm going to defend myself. So you keep talking shit, sending photos and whatnot to everybody, you ugly, horrible person, yeah? Dirty tramp. I'll see you in the flipping battlefield, yeah? Look at this, you dirty, horrible tramp of a woman. Yeah, you think that you can put my face on Instagram and it's all right? I allowed you to have your little temper tantrum because you got a mental problem, yeah? But I'm telling you, nobody and nothing can save you now, yeah? Nothing, all right? You think you can? Roy saw me in my time of hardness, man. He knows he knows what type of man I am, yeah? But he don't know my private life, and you think that you can tarnish me as a person. Yeah, don't listen to this dirty tramp, Roy. She's got me arrested the day before my birthday because I wanted to leave her. Yeah, and she's actually gone a bit too far. Yeah, disgusting, horrible person. She hurt my children. She's done everything. And as I want to leave, yeah, she's abusing all the children in the street outside. Yeah, all of the people. Embarrassment. That's a horrible cunt. When I want to leave, she gets me arrested, armed police, everything. Puts drugs in my car and everything. Yeah, on the day before my birthday. That's the type of pussy clout that you're listening or sending photos of me and getting me on Instagram. Yeah, she's trying to get herself in trouble. That's all she's been doing. She'd do it in front of me, hoping that I would beat her up because she wanted to have control. She couldn't have no more control than she had, yeah, because when I was at my weak spot is when she took. I just had a long message and I can't be bothered. I actually don't care what she thinks. How about that? Yeah, actually don't even care anymore. Yeah, I literally just broke my emotion for happiness for her. Literally, I don't even care. Yeah, enjoy your life, mate. I hope she drifts and I hope she goes to them. Yeah, I hope she does. Yeah, and then when it all goes wrong and she wants to come back, she's going to see us on top and I'm going to tell her to fuck off. Yeah, you better go talk to your mum. Your mum's going to be like, oh, come and ask him. Don't ask me nothing. You do what you need to do for your kid because I'm going to say fuck off. Yeah, because I'm not getting abused or I'm getting smashed in like this and all I've been trying to do is fix things and she's done so much wrong. Yeah, so much wrong and done nothing to fix anything. So I'm not going to keep getting my emotions fucked with by this little girl. All right? I just had a long message and I can't be bothered. I actually don't care what she thinks. How about that? Yeah, actually don't even care anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's him kind of acting like, he wants to kind of be rid of Hannah and, she's a nasty piece of work and she just had him held there and he hated her and, none of this was really going on. But we've got some recordings of him from his car, sleeping in the car and pretty much in a very different frame of mind from how you hear him now. So stay tight for that one, guys.
sitting in the middle of nowhere, in this deep dark jungle, in the forest here, getting ready to say goodbye. Yeah, already saying goodbye. See you lot later, man. I'm sorry, Hannah, man. I'll keep doing this, paying all this stuff. I'm sorry, man. I messaged Steve. I just told him that just bear with me. I might not have to resign. Don't know what's going on. I'll get back to you. I'll be at work tonight. I fell asleep with my battery dead. I couldn't bother to turn on the car, and I'm here. Just charged up the car a little bit. I'm gonna go drive back to work. Yeah, I don't want to do nothing. Do want to live for everybody. I'm trying to. I just can't handle it anymore of everything. You know, I can do everything. Extra anything. And here I am with extra everything. And don't know if I can handle all of this. That's too much, but yeah, I just work and give you money and do what needs to be done. I don't need to, that's it. I just need to be in my dark cave, yeah. I'll work and send you the money and do things like that, yeah. If there's gonna be any, what's his name for now? That's how my mind's thinking. But I'm gonna get to work. I'm gonna read all your messages and listen to everybody's stuff, and then I'll call people back and then we'll go from there. But right now, I just, yeah. I don't want to see anybody again. If I can just be in my dark place and just provide for you, and that's it. If not, I'll just quit this job and I'll disappear into the darkness. You know what I mean? It's over for me, man. I'm done. I'm so sorry. Sorry to Hazel. Sorry to you. Sorry to the world. Yeah. I'm done, man. I don't want to see no one. No kids, nobody. No you, no my dad, nobody. Thank you. Thank you for looking after the children. Can't do this anymore, man. Anyway. So sorry, Hannah, man. Can't do this, man. Hopefully I'll see you. If not, you take care, man. I'm actually in this workplace. Don't even know why I'm here. I quit. I told them, and then I phoned up and gave some stupid sub story to say, oh, don't worry, I'm gonna come back. And sorry about the headache, but what am I doing, man? I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. Just running on everybody. I'm not doing nothing for myself still, you know. Still in my own demons and my own stresses and going through the, I'm worse than I've ever been now, you know. Just trying not. I'm in a bad place and nothing's gonna get better from here. It can't. Now this is the end. All right. So just how you was this morning. Keep that energy for me. Yeah. Don't worry about me. Okay, you have everybody else that can help you if you want help. Otherwise, don't worry about me. I don't want to see you or anybody again. This man looked happy compared to me. I prefer your energy the way he was, man. I'm finished. Okay, don't need to text me no more apart from work. Send me your times, and that's it. I'll just stay in my dark corner and fucking. If that's not what you want, yeah, I'll leave. I'm not putting nothing on you. If that's not what you want, then I'll deal with it otherwise. But I can't do this. I can't, and I can't.
I was trying. I wanted, you know, it's like this. Yeah, this ain't gonna work. You know. Anyway, I don't want to keep talking, and you know, everyone else's emotions needs to come first and whatnot. So I leave everybody. I just leave everybody. Yeah. All right. I'm just coming to the terms with it and accepting it. You know, no matter what you say now and what I say and everything, it is what it is. How can it get better from here now? How am I gonna go to court and do all of these things and whatnot? It's over, Hannah. Yeah. I didn't see it, but I see it now. Now I feel like everyone's trying to draw me into drug police for me or something. I don't even know. I'd rather just work and help. That's what I can do. Otherwise, there's no point in being around. I don't want to look and see nobody. Yeah, nobody. This isn't help for me. All right? This is hell now. I'm already there now. This is the worst thing ever for me. All right? So, yeah. There's no helping me anymore. You could have helped. Just can't help no more. All right? I appreciate your enthusiasm for the children's sake. Yeah. Court's finished. Oh, if I didn't go to sleep, I was going to message Kelly to tell her that she look after my kids. You know? So serious this is all got and whatnot, and it's like I don't quit my job and have to phone back and say no. You know, so I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't want to see anybody. I'm done. Yeah. And I wait for the final blow from whoever it be, you, Abba, whoever. Then I know. Till then, I just work and give you what needs to be done, and I just need to be alone, man. So that'll be my fucking help.
So, guys, you hear there where he's completely changed tact in terms of what he was saying to this mutual friend Roy, and these are the messages of him while Anna is playing him. Really, she's got him living in the car now, but she's still kind of saying to him, you know, like, you could get help, we could keep it within us, I'm not calling police, all of this kind of stuff. She's still playing him, and he's clearly responding to that with what he's saying, but he's also telling her that he's going to kill himself. That's what he's trying to kind of say, you know, I'm not going to be here, I don't want to be here, that kind of thing. There's also some text messages which are quite compelling, I think. Let me see if I can find those. Between himself and Hannah. It's just very interesting, especially with what he told me and what he's been telling everybody else. It's really, really interesting, all of that. Let's have a look. So, what's he saying here? So it's a banter during the same time between him and Hannah, basically. So she's playing her game. He just says, I just see this, thank you. I'll do everything you say. Your son needs you. You know, this is so, I'm so pleased there's no police. Nothing. Just come home. The pain is going to go. Let me comfort you, please. That's what he's saying to her. You know, and it goes on. He says he wants to leave this place, more of the same about the texts and stuff like that. Right, so this is where Hannah is directly accusing him. You know, she's saying it. You like kids, and this is why you wanted to hug and do the things that you were doing. So directly saying that to him. And if you listen to the messages, or you just heard the messages that he sent her from the car, this all happens after the fact. So I can't see any outrage. This is what I'm saying is compelling. Again, I'm not accusing the man. I'm saying it's just very, very compelling. Very compelling. Unmute for a minute, Hannah. Very compelling. And I've got some more. I'm going to play some more. Sis, have you got the live on?
Yeah. Like I said, his narrative changes to every person he speaks to is a different story. Story. Yeah. But I'm not going to argue with
I can hear myself. I can hear myself coming back at me. I've got feedback. So you've probably got the YouTube live on somewhere watching it, or somebody has it on.
Hold on.
I can hear myself. Yeah. You've got to mute the YouTube bit. Not mute yourself here.
Go to mine. You know, if you go back to mine.
Yeah, go back.
Oh, it's a helicopter. Leon sent us.
Yeah, go back.
Yeah.
Go to mine.
Is that better?
Is it microphone we need to touch?
No. Is that better?
No, not your mic on the StreamYard. Somewhere you got mic on the StreamYard. Somewhere. Your phone or your phone's phone, you've got YouTube on.
No YouTube is on. No
Really?
YouTube is on. Nothing's on.
I shouldn't be feeding.
Really,
back.
nothing's on.
I shouldn't be feeding back.
No, nothing's on.
Not at my end. It's not going to work. Because you were fine before.
Maybe a helicopter just went over me. Maybe that.
I don't think it's that. It's definitely not that. We only have that problem. You haven't pressed the link to YouTube or anything. Have a look in your phone. Any of the windows you've got.
I have to leave. No, I'm only on this page.
Okay. Oh, it's gone now. Oh no, it's not gone now. It's gone. It's going to be. Oh no, it's not gone now. It's going to be horrible. And on your friend's phone, has she got it up anywhere? You've frozen as well, sis. Has she got it?
No.
I've just moved it away. Yeah, does that help?
No, it's not on her phone.
No, I've moved it away where it was before during broadcast.
No, but you're not on anything.
No.
Oh, okay. I don't know why it's doing that then.
Open.
All right, no problem. Okay, I don't know why it's doing that then. So basically, sis, I don't know what it is.
I'm gonna. You know what? I think it is. Let me turn my.
Jump off the link and jump back on again. And in the meantime,
Is that better now?
I don't know until it's when I talk. You can hear feedback. No, it's still got feedback.
Oh, it just sounds normal. You sound normal.
Yeah, but I can hear the feedback at my end. Can anyone else hear feedback? It might be highly annoying. Can you guys hear feedback? Put on if you can hear feedback. If you can hear feedback coming through. Papa one if you can hear feedback. Oh, someone's saying yeah, they can. You can hear it on the left.
Let me leave and come back in.
Yeah, I'm gonna remove and then come back in. All right, people. So compelling stuff. This brother is telling one story, but he's telling another. He's confirming what sister has told us, really, with his responses and his reactions to her kicking him out the house, and him having to sleep in his car. He said he was in the middle of nowhere in a forest, and so on. But I also had a conversation with this man, his father. His father's name is Danny Good, or as they call him, Abba. That's the two of them together, Abba, Danny Good. So I had a conversation with him. I'm going to let you guys listen to that one. And then I'm going to play a bigger conversation that happens, and I'll let you guys know what that is. But listen very carefully to what Danny says, because I ask him some very key questions, okay? Sister shared that this Leon had admitted to her that he had a relationship with her daughter, but only once she turned 16. So your stepdaughter, you'd been bringing up since before she was 16, in fact, since she was 13. See if this is better. Hopefully it is.
Is that better?
Hello. I hope so. I really hope so. Yes,
I can hear
it's
you
better.
clearly. Okay.
Yeah, it's better. I can't hear any more feedback. Fantastic. So I'm just telling the story. I'm just bringing people up to speed, sis, of when he admitted that he'd had a relationship with your daughter once she turned 16. That he'd actually admitted to that. Yeah, can you hear me?
Well, his father admitted to that.
We're going to get to that. Right, exactly. He hasn't admitted, he hasn't admitted it to me, and he hasn't admitted that to you, right? So, but he has admitted it to his father, basically. So listen to the conversation, guys. Mute up again for me a minute, sis. Listen to the conversation, guys, between myself and Mr. Good, aka Abba. Let's get that up. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hi. Is that Danny? Danny.
Yes,
Danny Good.
Daniel Good, yes. Speaking.
Oh, hi, Danny. My name's Afua Rose. I'm calling from the His Time Is Up campaign. We are an advocacy group that supports survivors of historic sexual abuse. I've literally just had a conversation with your son, Leon, and it's on the back of allegations made by Hannah Good.
Right.
That you might be aware of. I believe you're aware of them. According to your son, you are. So we advocate for survivors of sexual abuse, particularly historic sexual abuse in the Black community. And as I say, we support victims to bring cases to court, support them through the police process, that type of thing. We also have a platform where they are able to share their voices, and so on. But what we don't do is not have a conversation with the people that have been accused. We like to speak to people. We like to get a balance, because as much as we advocate and highlight the issue in the community in regards to perpetrators, we also indict women who try to tell lies on the brothers. You understand? So that's the reason that I've called you, because it's right to reply.
I was about to ask you, so what's this relating to? But yes.
It's relating to allegations that she's made against your son pertaining to her daughter. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what it is. Allegations of sexual abuse against her daughter. As I said, I've spoken to Leon. It was a very cordial conversation. I've heard his side. I'm trying to kind of unravel the allegations that she's brought to us. That's why I'm here, really, to speak to you, because she has made allegations against you as well, to say that, you've been complicit and you're fully aware of what your son is, allegedly is. And
allegedly, by her accusations, not by anything else.
Yeah. So just really to get your standpoint, sir. That's really why I'm calling,
Yeah, well, my opinion, like I said, I don't believe Anna's telling the truth, and that's just the way that I feel about it, because certain things that the woman's done, and the way that she's attacked him and literally stripped him of his dignity, and it's all very, very calculated. And
because according to him, it started. According to Leon, it started when he said he was going to leave, basically.
Okay. Yeah, well, it looks to me that that might be the case, but she was up to no good from before that. By the looks of things, to me, it didn't look like it was a proper relationship. It's like she had him on a tightrope or something.
Sure. Well, like I said to Leon, I'm not really here to kind of talk about whatever toxic relationship you guys had back and forth. What's been brought to us are serious. Really about just trying to, and we're vested in ensuring that no one is telling a lie against somebody, and those allegations haven't actually happened. Exactly. In terms of our own community safety. If they have happened, then we will support those victims to take those cases to the police. We're not the police. That's not what. And you know, we're vested in. It's really about just trying to kind of ascertain where the truth lies, I suppose, and to look at the kind of integrity and the fabric of the individuals that are concerned. That's what's been brought to us. Toxic relationships. We know our community is full of them, you know, so that's not really our concern. That's something that people need to sort out for themselves. These are serious allegations of paedophilia and sexual abuse, Danny. Do you know what I mean? They're very serious. Yeah.
Very serious. And the woman coming like, she knew his weak spot. Yeah, and that is the way that she just went for the jugular, you know, and it's without, it's out of place, and it's just out of remorse, yeah. Like you said, he said enough is enough, I'm leaving. And yeah, all hell broke loose.
And you know, I spoke to him about previous allegations from a previous partner. Do you know about those as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. This is the partner that he had before. Anna. Who accused him, and you know, we found out that it came to nothing. But I think he's still going to court, as far as I know.
Okay.
As far as I know, I think he's still got a court case to come. But, you know, from when? Oh gosh, maybe a year ago. He was supposed to have just gone into nothing, really. Yeah, it's gone into nothing. It was waiting. Something was supposed to happen, and it didn't happen. Because
obviously, from an outsider's point of view, somebody looking in, and that's just me taking stuff on face value. Hence the reason I'm making these phone calls and I'm trying to kind of dig a little bit further. But on face value, it rings an alarm bell, doesn't it? Your previous partner said that. Now the current partner says that. How do you view that, Danny?
Yeah, well, that's the one. At the beginning, it was like, it's a shock to my heart. It was a shock to my heart. I thought it was real. But this the way that this one is, I think she's just joined for the jugular. I think, yeah, I really do. If I didn't believe that, I couldn't say that. It's like,
because according to Leon, it's because, you know, she had full knowledge of the previous allegations, so she's kind of replicating that and using that as her armor, according to him. Because she's also said that you know, he abused her daughter when she was underage, and she says that Leon admitted to her that he hadn't done that, but that he had a consensual relationship with her after 16. He, of course, completely denies that. I don't know if you're aware of those things as well.
Not really, no.
Okay. Right. Serious allegations. As I said, we also have a platform where they're able to share, people that make those allegations are able to share their stories. What we don't do is indict anybody. They are allegations. We always invite the individual that's been accused to take part in that and to defend himself or give him the right to reply. And Leon. So I'm not going to play all of that. It just goes on and on about the same. So you had me ask Father Abba very, very categorically, do you know about the allegations of him having a relationship with his stepdaughter past the age of 16? And he says no. But do you guys pick up on how kind of coy he was speaking? Quite boldly before, and he says it in the coyest of ways. He kind of lowers his voice a bit and he goes no. He kind of pauses for a nanosecond and he says, you know, no, I don't know anything about that. So Hannah, just unmute a minute for me, sister, and tell us what we're about to listen to in terms of that group conversation. Tell us what we're listening at. It's between him and his sisters or something?
It's between him, his dad and his sister. So his sister on his dad's side and his sister on his mum's side, you know, and they are...
Abba is in the conversation as well,
yeah, and Abba's in the conversation.
And Abba's aware that you're on the call?
Yeah, Abba's aware that I'm on the call, but I've muted myself because I know what's happened and I'm not entertaining him.
So let's listen to what he says here and what the conversation is about, because it is quite compelling. I would say to people that trigger warning, can the mods put out a trigger warning for people, because it gets a little bit deep in places. Yeah. Everything is first name, so we don't really know who we're talking about or what's being spoken about. But what we do know is that Leon is the topic, and all the allegations have come together because you guys need Abba to kind of hear you, basically, and to have a look at the kind of pattern. That's pretty much what's going on. But let me play it anyway. Try and get it up.
It's the fact that he thinks he can use the narrative of his first baby mum. Like,
mute up for me, sis. Mute up, darling.
Just say your piece. You don't even have to say nothing back to him, and let him say what he has to say.
I don't need to say anything to him because he's just gonna lie. All he's gonna do is lie, be rude, try and cuss bad word because I was.
No, but Nicole can say the same thing to him and say, "Look, we're not like no one's not coming on the phone on some monger thing, but just wanna."
Because at the end of the day, you're rude and disrespectful, and you lied, and what you think that, you think it's a joke that my child's been abused and that you can protect your son and that you're going to get manners and respect from me. You're stupid. I came to you with manners and respect, yeah? And look how you're disrespecting me. So I will come down to your level because I'm a grown-ass woman. I'm not no child, and I ain't his child. So I don't got the manners from like you lot do. Especially when he's crossed the line.
What happened to Tree?
Phone must have cut out. She's got bad service.
Oh, okay.
But she's probably going to come back on. She's still on the line. She's probably just on hold or something. She's probably answered her phone. But you know what I mean? Like, he's got nothing to say. He's just coming on here because obviously I've told the family. He's just going to come on here. I'll tell you what he's going to do. He's going to come on here. He's going to be loud, rude, disrespectful, have his say. And anyone speaks, he's going to just shut them down. Yeah? That's all Abba does. All right?
You're calm. He would have no other choice but to be calm as well. Do you get it?
But I've been calm, and then when he lies and I say, Abba, you're lying, then he just, and he tries to deflect and just go off. And when I try to keep him on topic, he doesn't like it. So it's like, you can't try and manipulate me or gaslight me like you do Leon. And he doesn't like it. Then he gets rude. And it's like, who are you talking to? Because I've been polite. But you can't shut me down like you do your son. And you can't deflect, you can't manipulate, and you can't lie. The minute you lie, there's no respect. I'll hang up the phone on you, or you can just piss off, like you're just chatting shit. Like what? That don't make no sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Abba's stubborn, and Abba's stubborn, and you know how he gets. Yeah. And then when people don't listen to what he says, or it doesn't go his way, everybody's rude. How convenient. Everybody's rude. How convenient. Everybody's crazy. Everybody's this. Everybody's that. How convenient. You know your Abba, you know your brother, they're waste, man. Safe.
Abba, 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm just on the other line to Abba. 1 second, sir. Yeah, hello? Yeah, I've got Abba on the other line. I haven't added him to this freeway because Hannah doesn't want him on there, so he's on the other line, but he's on the loudspeaker so he can hear everything. And yeah. Okay. Say hello to see if he can hear you. Hello? Hello. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay. Right, so Hannah. Oh, now Hannah's muted. Chi? Yeah. Talk to Abba. Help me, Chi, because I don't know if you know, Chi, I've got fibromyalgia. My brain's like a sieve. Yeah, okay, so basically, we both received this call from Hannah. Maybe you've been having more contact with Nicole, so obviously Hannah's told us what's happened between Leon and Hazel, and basically said that she's found out this information.
Not sure what's happened there, guys. Hold on. God knows what's going on there. It's a slow computer, guys. Let me try and remedy that. No, it's not playing. All right, I'm going to play it from my phone. That's what we're going to have to do. Let's have a look. Yeah, this computer's been playing up all day, guys. Give me a moment. God, which one is it? Give me a moment, guys. I'm playing it from the phone, people. Hope you can hear that.
Yeah, hello? Yeah, I've got Abba on the other line. I haven't added him to this freeway because Hannah doesn't want him on there, so he's on the other line, but he's on the loudspeaker so he can hear everything. And yeah. Okay. Say hello to see if he can hear you. Hello? Oh, yeah, okay. Okay. Right, so Hannah. Oh, now Hannah's muted. Chi? Yeah. Talk to Abba. Help me, Chi, because I don't know if you know, Chi, I've got fibromyalgia. My brain's like a sieve. Yeah, okay, so basically, we both received this call from Hannah. Maybe you've been having more contact with Nicole, so obviously Hannah's told us what's happened between Leon and Hazel, and basically said that she's found out this information and she's come to you and Ema and said basically what was going on, and like Leon needs some sort of medical attention, and like you guys all come to some sort of agreement basically that he was going to get some help. Hannah said that she's then, from what I understand, kind of had Leon still in the house but not around Hazel. And then I think Thursday or something, it's come to a big argument where Hazel's now phoned the police and reported the situation. I've just tried to condense
the story. So that's basically what I've heard. And then obviously Hannah's let me know that something may have happened to Aaliyah, and like I've just spoke to Nicole today, like to understand what's going on, because obviously it's like very serious.
Yes, it's very serious with allegations, without doubt.
Yeah. So
it's put into place.
But remember, the Aaliyah one, although that was dealt with years ago, and like what Azariah said yesterday, my sister called his mum and they dealt with that.
Yes, obviously what you have said to me. So before today, obviously I hadn't known any different to what the story was.
Adult, he was a young child. Oh yeah, it was inappropriate or whatever. It's not something that me personally could hold against him because of, you know, when you're young, your hormones, and I've had loads of boys in that kind of situation myself, so I can't hold that one against them.
Yeah, but we were always young, so you know, we can't push it like that and say that we was perfect and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just want to fast forward to the Hazel one now, because
before we got to the Hazel one, I'm gonna be the other one.
Okay, yeah, so that was the same. I was under the impression that that was like another allegation that was made against Leon, but she was having a nervous breakdown. So that's the way I was told. Like, you know, she's going through things. So obviously she's delirious and she's chatting rubbish, basically. So like that was the Rashia one, and obviously she's been admitted to hospital and diagnosed with what she's been diagnosed with. So yeah, that was that. I don't really know what else to say about that one. That was that. And then now,
sorry, Dino was a part of it.
Yeah, because this is what happened with that situation. I got a random text from Rashia and said,
It's gone quiet. Can you still hear the recording? I can't.
no, I can't. How my sister sounded, and basically I don't know if I could go through this, because she was like, well, I've been abused, and at the end of the day I would never like make my niece come on the phone and like basically tell me that she was abused, but I don't think that Dino and Leon did that to her. And then I think a few days later, Makeda, who was defending her, came back and said, I don't think that it happened. So
that's kind of that situation. All the information that I hear, and I make my own judgment, you know. And you know, this is it's not clear enough.
Okay.
And this is it's not clear.
So if we just get to with Hazel, because obviously Hannah's on the phone, if Leon has had any kind of sexual relations with Hazel between 14 and 17, it's inappropriate, isn't it?
So whether he, I don't know, because I'm hearing that he was drugged, he was this, he was that, he was all these different things. So I'm just want to know, like, so he's admitted to you that this is what he's done?
He's admitted that they had a relationship. Yes. But not when she was on the age or anything to do with any law. It was before, and when mommy loves, and she should have basically just not gone where she's gone and tried to make it better. And that's where daughter, and this is where a lot of the trouble has happened between Hazel and her mother. Now, when Hazel decided to defend and come up with their plan, this is where they're at, because
Okay.
Pause it there, guys. Pause it there for a minute. So, Danny, if you're wondering why I put you up, it's because you lied. You lied to me.
Mm-hmm.
As you heard very well, guys, in that recording. I asked him categorically, do you know anything about it? He said he doesn't know anything about any of that. And here you have him saying to his daughters and Hazel that, yes, he admitted to having a relationship with her when she was 16. So, it wasn't unlawful. Now, you tell me, guys, forget the law for a minute. From a moral standpoint, what do you guys think about a father who has heard repeated allegations? All right, you brush off the one when he was young. How old was he on that first allegation? And they're saying he was young, we can't hold that against him. Do you know how old he was, Hannah?
Around that time, he was like 16, 17.
So
At the time, he was
not that young. And how old was the alleged victim at the time?
I'm not 100% sure on her age, but she would be at least a good 5 years younger than him.
Right.
At least.
So he's about 11. Oh, sorry, about 11, 12 or whatever.
About 10 even, she's young. Because, yeah.
And he's 16. He's an adult, actually.
Because he started to become an uncle from when he was...
You've frozen, sis. Got so much bloody difficulties tonight. Look.
Am I frozen?
Yeah, no, you're back again, I think. A little bit, yeah. He was 16. I was imagining, because I forgot to clarify that with you until now, but I was imagining that he might have been maybe 9, 10, 11, like prepubescent, troubling his little cousin or whatever it was.
No. He was 16.
And they're saying, well, he was young.
Yeah, they cast that as a child. No.
It's really interesting. So everybody acknowledges that did happen, but we're not holding that against him in the family. They kept it in the family, and they're saying, well, at 16, I would say that he's culpable. He's an adult. It's not even a 13-year-old or a 14-year-old. It's an actual person that is an adult sexually, that is at the age of adult sexual consent. So therefore... Yeah.
But his other trying to blame his mother, him losing his mother, and him being around certain things and seeing certain things is just a bad influence on him. So he's just blaming his mother's side of the family and the fact that he was grieving and stuff.
Well, I mean, in that recording, we can go on to hear Abba kind of just relay some more of what he says, his narrative. He starts to gaslight you. And talk about your stuff, even if you have all the challenges in the world. And I was having a conversation about this earlier with somebody. Even if you have all the challenges in the world, even if you're completely bonkers, you go running around and doing crazy stuff for yourself, doesn't mean that you cannot be a victim in these circumstances. And that's what people need to kind of understand, because the more challenges you have, the more vulnerable you are, actually, the more that you are open to rumors, the more that you are open to being affected by these people, actually. And so therefore we need to get out of the mindset where the perpetrators are allowed to kind of use a person's past or difficulties or struggles that they may have and use that to put into the foreground to gaslight the person, you know, and to kind of minimize their allegation. It's really interesting.
Right. That's what they do.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do. So, you know, look, as I say, he's yet to be convicted in a court of law. That will make him guilty in the eyes of all concerned. But there's some really compelling stuff to say that he's definitely been lying. And his dad has definitely been lying, you know. And that's just compelling, my sister. It's very, very compelling. And I'm starting to ask myself, because I've heard a few stories good now. You know, I've heard a few stories good about the Hebrew Israelites. And I'm starting to wonder if it is a kind of narrative that is playing out with some of these sects, sects, in the UK. Now, I'm not saying that every Hebrew Israelite leaning temple, you know, whatever people cling on to. And maybe it's just the fact that whenever you get organized religion and you get organized religion that is very strict and closed, you do get these kinds of allegations. Do you understand what I'm saying? Maybe it's just that. I'm not having a chuck at the Hebrew Israelites, but there is something happening here with the Hebrew Israelites at the moment that I feel needs highlighting. And it's just ironic that this story is coming straight out of those teachings as well, you know, those people or that flock, not those teachings actually, because I'm very much down with the teachings of the Hebrew Israelites to a point, because I'm not extremist in any of my leanings. I don't do the extremist bit. When it's extreme, I have an issue. I lived amongst the Hebrew Israelites in Tanzania for a long time. You know, when I say amongst them, they were around us quite a lot, and you know, I had a chance to and see them really up close and personal. I didn't like what I saw from some of them over there, most of them, to be fair. The polygamy thing, yeah, I get it, and it's great, but it shouldn't be a form of control. It shouldn't be weaponized. I saw a lot of that. In fact, I saw so much from that community. It wasn't really from anyone else. The rest of us diasporans that were there, I saw so much from that community that in one of the community meetings, I made a recommendation that of all the things that we were trying to form and put down as settlers, you know, like businesses and working together and keeping our kind of Tanzanian shilling amongst us in order to kind of create this community. One of the things that we should consider is some sort of social care structure, because I was really concerned about sisters that might start to go through domestic violence in these setups. And I was even more concerned in some of those polygamous setups about what might be happening to the children. When I saw some of the setups and the way they were and the way the women were controlled and the children were controlled, the way they dressed, where they went, who they spoke to, you know, lots of stuff that I saw that I didn't like. And I think that has nothing to do with the teachings, because you're going to find that in every kind of organized sect that there is, you know. They need to stop corrupting the true teachings. That's what these people need to stop doing. They hide in the church. We know this. But let's have a closer look at these Hebrew Israelites, because it ain't no different. I'm going to share a news clipping, because a lot of people don't actually know about this story. I'm going to share it with you guys. Let's go through it. See if it will start to share my screen now. If not, I have to get it up all over again. Let's see if it does that. Okay, let's see.
Okay. Really? Oh my God. Okay. Wow.
It's taking its good old time. There you go. Can you guys see that? It's about a sister called Joy Morgan. A fellow church member refuses to reveal location of student's body after being jailed for murder. Nice. Dishonest, manipulative killer met victim while driving her to church with his wife. Now, they were... This thing is so slow. Here he is. Here's the guy. It's really slow. You guys see him? You didn't see him very well. There he is. There he is. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
There's the individual who did that to his sister. And this was in 2019. His Hebrew name is Shofar El Israel. But his birth name was Ajibola Shogbamimu. Sounds Nigerian. And it was in Hertfordshire. Hertfordshire police wanted him to reveal the location of the sister's body. A man has been jailed for life for murdering a student midwife whose body has never been found. Joy Morgan's mother pleaded for Shofar El Israel to reveal her final resting place after police searches covering hundreds of acres of land. Israel, whose birth name is Ajibola Shogbamimu, denied murder, but the trial Israel killed Miss Morgan. The trial heard that Israel killed Miss Morgan, 20, after they met through a church group and spent time alone together in violation of its rules. The 40-year-old claimed he dropped Miss Morgan off at her student accommodation at Hatfield, Hertfordshire, after a celebratory dinner at the American-founded Israel United in Christchurch on Boxing Day. And I think this is the sister that was murdered. But I've got an inside scoop on actually what happened with that. I can't see the sister here. This bloody machine. Maybe I should fundraise for a new machine so we can get smooth lives. Or maybe I should just buy one. But it only plays up on the live, so I don't understand. It's normally right, you know? So anyway, sentencing the married father to life, imprisonment, la, la, la. You guys go ahead and read that. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but you get the gist. And that is the young sister, 20 years old. My God. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, well, he's gone down for life for that. A minimum of 17. That's not really good enough, far as I'm concerned. Not really good enough. I'm echoing again. I don't know. Let me just mute you for a second, yeah? But yeah, I'm actually just asking myself, is this something that's emerging? You know, we're starting to see these things happen now in the Hebrew Israelite, who are probably relatively new. This recent spate, because I have seen an upsurge recently in the Hebrew Israelites, certainly being visible anyway. And I know there are many, many sects. We actually covered a sort of spin-off sect of them, if you guys remember rightly. I think it was around 2022. Proper one, if you remember the cult in Edmonton. Oh my God. And we even had footage from outside the house where they hold the cult, where people sort of lived there in isolation and servitude. Who remembers that? In Edmonton. It was on the Instagram. We definitely covered it here. And it was with a mad guy and his missus, an old Jamaican couple that were running a Hebrew Israelite cult. But listen, the cult thing is have we not learned our lessons from the Christian cults with what's going on? My sister, I'm going to put the link out for anybody that wants to jump on, if they want to jump on.
Yes.
But it's very compelling. You might have to jump off and jump back on.
All right.
Yeah. And put the link out in the meantime, yeah?
Okay.
All right, brilliant. Very compelling. And everything that sister has said to us, and that we heard her telling the family, or the family repeating to their Abba, the sisters of Leon, repeating to their father, aka Abba, is consistent with what she said here. That's what I find very compelling. Very compelling, Leon. And you won't be calling my phone again because I've blocked you from that phone. And I'm just hoping and praying that the CPS will charge you and that you will be brought to justice. I really hope they do. We know that they fail us. Greetings, my sister. Greetings, Jael. We know that they fail us. You might have to watch back, sis. There's a lot going on. Yeah, we know that they fail us, so let's just hope they do the right thing here, because there's a lot of compelling stuff. I've just given you guys a fraction of what it is that this sister has in terms of evidence against this brother. Yeah, it's not looking good as far as I know, you know. Yeah, it's not looking good. I was just sharing the mountain of evidences, the absolute deluge of evidence that you've poured upon me and that I viewed before we came on here. You know, there's a lot going on, and it's not looking good for the brother, in my opinion. I'm just hoping that the CPS does the right thing. They don't come back with the usual shite about not enough evidence, because that's what we're used to when we look at these cases.
And that's why I'm on this platform, you know, so I don't care what they come back with. The world's going to know what you are.
Yeah. And, you know, I think it's up for everyone to make up their minds, really, as far as they're concerned. Does it matter? It does, in terms of people wanting to keep their children safe. Yes, it does. Does it matter in terms of him being a convicted paedophile? No, it doesn't. What people
Not
think,
just people's children. He also, because he gets very angry when he can't suppress his urges. So unless he can get into another relationship with other people that have got children, and he can suppress these urges on people's children, he's going to be violent towards people's sons.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so because he's not going to be in the right state of mind. So you don't want to be that.
He displaces his anger in that way. He's definitely somebody who swings, because, you know, he comes across really plausible, and, you know, quite polite. When I spoke to him, he comes across that way. But we know that he can flip the switch, and he's definitely very invested in making threats towards you and whatever. Let's just listen to messages that he sent you as recently as this morning. Once he got out of custody. Yeah, let's listen to that for a minute.
More guys I see. Yeah, want to try and get me arrested. I had to turn myself in, Mr. Roy, because this woman is talking more stuff. Yeah, because she's scared. Yeah, so she's gonna go and do this thing, which is illegal. Yeah, and then she's gonna be arrested, and then she's gonna be fucked. And then I'll do the same thing and post to help myself. Yeah, so no, we've all been laughing at her. Yeah, she's an absolute pathetic fool. Look at her crazy person laughing back at my laughters. And this is meant to be serious to her. I'm meant to abuse her kid, and she's laughing. Fucking pathetic fool. Oh, man. But anyway, I'm just here with my family and everybody having fun and just enjoying freedom and life. You know, love and blessings to you, Roy, and your beautiful wife. I hope you have a beautiful life. And it's the only reason why we didn't come and sit down with you. Look, I would have loved it. You know what I mean? Is that I don't want to be around this dirty, horrible woman. She's actually a nasty, despicable human. Yeah, so I love you all, and I pray you a long and happy life, both of you. Yeah, and thank you so much for helping me that day, Roy. Man, you're a wonderful human. Yeah, God bless you. God bless your wife. God bless your family. All right, and this is me signing out. Yeah. This woman's a pathetic fool. I am so happy. If this is what I have to go through to be away from her, I'm just happy. You know, you don't even understand. Nothing that's happening now is like what I was going through. Just being just smelling her breath and her dirty BO fanny, and just being around her. Oh man, free, mate. And so I'll be labeled a nonce, a fucking murderer, a crackhead. A fucking whatever she wants to put me down as long as I'm free of that crackhead, yeah, that horrible, wicked witch. So just putting it out there, yeah, you're beautiful people. I hope you might not get swayed by her, yeah, because I've got everybody phoning me in because she's stolen my phone, got me arrested on my birthday, or the day before my birthday, you know what I mean, with weed and guns, you know what I mean? She tried to destroy their father because I don't want to be with her. You know, horrible, horrible, wicked, nasty woman. Yeah. If I show you, I might even just send all of the photos of her that day that I left of her abusing all of the children in the neighborhood, and that's just embarrassing me. You know what I mean? I said I just wanted to leave. She won't let me leave. She destroyed me, or tried to anyway. She can't break me. Fucking pathetic fool, you know. But yeah, I might even send them to you. All right, God bless. When I see that this has been looked at, yeah, I must resend it, yeah. So I know she don't delete it. All right, God bless. And this disgusting behavior was going on for years. Yeah, and then she tried to say it to the neighbors so she didn't get herself fucked up. I was just doing it because he's a nonce and I wanted the kids to get away from the house. But anyway, that's just one piece of this puzzle I got for this track. You know? I just got to get something. I couldn't be bothered. I was giving her a chance, but obviously I got to get everything in place to keep her at bay like a little dog. Yeah? Put muzzle on her. Once I get the muzzle on her, I'll teach her some tricks and some manners. Yeah? And then go from there, and hopefully she can be a good mother, because all this energy she showed on me, she still ain't give her daughter no hug. She doesn't hug her daughter. Her daughter's still cutting herself. Yeah? Trust me. And she deliberately made me hate her daughter, and her daughter hate me because she's jealous. I didn't even understood what happened. Horrible, nasty, wicked, rotten woman. Yeah? So I'm glad we didn't end up linking with you, and then you end up had to experience this horrible person amongst you. Yeah? God bless you.
Wow. And you know, you wouldn't want to be sharing certain things with the elder like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's just listen to a little bit more of when he was sleeping out, just to remind people, and for those people that have just joined as well. So this is the guy that's claiming and saying whatever he's saying to Roy, and anyone else that will listen, and certainly to me as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we didn't finish listening to that. Let's just hear some more of his supposed suicide cry.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the best option and everything to do now? What do I do? And I really do want to just do the right thing. I'm just so scared, and I don't know how to face you lot and everything. And you know, a lot of the stuff you're saying is not all of it's true, and everything's just like, oh, how can I talk? And it's just like, oh, for fuck's sake, ruined everybody. So I don't know what to do, Hannah. I'm dizzy and I can't sleep. I'm just gonna try and grab a sleep. I'm outside, but I can't face you, so I don't know if it's best if we just keep talking like this for now. Yeah, just gonna roll a cigarette and drink some water and just think.
And there we have it. Not all of it's true. So some of it's true, but not all of it's true. You know, this man is so apologetic, and he's, you know, he doesn't know what to do. He wants to kill himself, and, you know, please, Hannah, please. And in the next breath, it's all this vitriol and this nastiness. I'm not buying it, personally. No. I'm not buying any of it. Sis, you've been sharing here tonight.
He forgets how it comes across.
Yes, blessed love, Sister Naz. I love the pink screen.
Hi, I'm trying not to show myself.
It's all right, that's a good one.
I don't fall off.
Yeah, what do you want to say, sis? What's up?
Right, hi.
Hiya.
There's a bit of a delay. I've never used it before, so bear with me. I just wanted to say, like, appreciate your story and coming. Hold on, there's like an echo back, which
there is an echo at Hannah's end. I don't know what is going on with that tonight. But Hannah, mute up. Oh, you are muted up, actually. So there shouldn't be an echo. I think the echo's at your end, sis. Have you been watching it on the light on Naz? Yeah, that's better.
I'm going to take it. Shall I take it?
If you've been watching it on YouTube, just mute the YouTube. Like, go back to the YouTube page. Are you on your phone or a laptop?
I'm on a laptop. Hold on.
Yeah, so if you've got the tab with YouTube on it, just mute that.
Right, okay, just bear with me.
Or stop it or something, you know?
Right, okay. You shouldn't be able to see me, right?
I can't see you. No, I can't see you. No, I can't see you.
Right, I've never used this, so bear in mind. I really appreciate hearing this. And to be honest, I kind of caught the gist of it. And I listened to some of the recordings, and what I can say is it seemed like he was character assassinating. I didn't feel that he was actually, as someone who is being accused of such a heinous crime, you would have expected more of a defense. It was more like character assassinating. And you know what, how I would describe it? Like an ex-boyfriend I had who was an alcoholic. And you know, it was like almost like arguing with a lamppost. You're not getting no, you know, an argument is, you know, it goes back and forth. And I really didn't feel he done that. And if you notice I did make some comments, and I'm a bit slow at typing, so you have to bear with me. But from the get-go, I felt that this is learned behavior from him. The way he was talking, the way he was defending himself. I've been around a lot of paedophiles and perverts, so I kind of know the gist in how they speak. And especially with this guy, I felt it was more, there was history. I did actually say I felt there was previous, there's been incident, I am sure, from when he was much younger. And like with the police, they don't document these things very well, especially back in the days before it was all computerized. So I think there's a lot more to it, and the family have enabled it. And you know, possibly there is it's like I say, learned behavior. So certain members in the family, it's come from somewhere. It doesn't just go, you know, it doesn't just come out of the blue. This is something people always do things for a reason, I believe. So even, I mean, it's a shame I couldn't really hear all the recordings of the conversations, but it just seemed like character assassinating. And a lot of people will relate to the things that he was accusing her of. Is like, oh, she's bitter because she don't want me, and that's why she's doing ABC.
It's so classic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a classic. And look, think about it. You get accused of being a nonce. The first thing I'd be like saying, what the fuck? Let the person speak, you know, let them say what they've got to say, and they're accusing me of. You wouldn't clamp someone down. You would defend it in such a way where you would say to them, you know what? You basically would ask the questions and ask them for facts and back it. Now, another thing I want to just jump to with regards to the victim, a lot of people seem to think you need evidence. And you did make a statement saying something about, oh, I wish she had told me then, and then maybe it would have been, I would have been able to do something. No, you know what? It doesn't require physical evidence. It really doesn't. And a lot of people might think it does, but in my experience, people have been convicted without the actual physical evidence. It's a lot by what the person remembers, time frames, especially when it comes to children. So people shouldn't, and I'm calling out the perpetrators, all you nonsense out there. Remember what I said, it doesn't need physical evidence. You are doing a heinous thing. And to be honest, the only thing I think with guys like that can cure them is your sight is taken away, because you visualize and then you target and you go for it, and God will give you back your punishment. I do truly believe what you give out, maybe now you're not going to get your comeuppance, but at some point you will. I don't believe in one life, I believe in the hereafter. So people will, and you get trials and tribulations. And with regards to what's happened, I'm so sorry to hear what you and your child have gone through. You've done what you've done, and no one can walk in your shoes until they're in it. And I understand a lot of perverts and paedophiles have mothers, sisters, brothers. It's not a nice thing even for them to go through, someone who's not that way inclined. So like, it is an illness, like I say, I don't know what the cure is. I think they're in a very, very dark place, and really they need to seek God. They need, I don't know, holy water would probably still them.
Can I segue in there, sister? Because it's been an ongoing debate for quite some time, particularly in therapeutic village, therapeutic community, and amongst certain professionals. That's definitely been a debate. Is there a cure? You know, and a lot of up their arse liberals certainly believe that there is a cure. You know, those middle class liberals that believe they can fix everything, virtue signaling everywhere. They think they can cure it. I'm of the volition and of the opinion that there isn't a cure, actually, because paedophilia is sexuality. Paedophilia is sexuality.
Right, okay, yeah. Can I just interject?
And in the same way that sexuality is formed, whether you're heterosexual, homosexual, whatever, is the same way that their sexuality is formed as well. And we always talk about the burden of proof on this platform, and that you're right, sis, when you say that you don't need physical evidence. We talk about it all the time. You need genealogy. How many people did you tell beforehand? You mentioned that, Sister Naz. Yeah. How many people did you tell beforehand? Who did you tell? Did you tell a teacher? Did you tell whatever? It's called a genealogy. That's what you take from a young person, particularly, because no, as I've said here 1,000,001 times, a 5-year-old isn't going to preserve, excuse the explicitness, but they're not going to preserve their panties in a freezer bag and run down to the police station.
That's right. Yes, that's right.
Even adults that are sexually assaulted don't always do that. So,
right.
Historic sexual abuse cases and those with children, the burden of proof is very different. So, sister's quite right when she says that you don't need evidence always.
I do want to make a comment, which, in my experience, is something I asked many, many years ago, and I used to ask women this question, and this is something for the men who are listening in to hear what I've got to say. I asked every single woman that I know. I asked them at some point this question: do you remember either a family member or a family friend doing something to you when you were younger of a sexual nature, whether it be physical, whether it be exposing themselves? And you know, sadly, every single woman that's asked has said yes, they can.
The black community says the statistic amongst the black community is 1 in 3, and I know that it's even more acute in some communities. But
I'm not from the black community. I'm from the Bangladeshi community.
I know that's
that's something that's been rife in my community, I would say, and it's always been a taboo subject. What's his name, Jimmy Savile. It was a no-no. Do you see? So, but also what I realized is after Jimmy Savile, a lot of people kind of spoke about their abuse, including men. And what I found in the black community, I found a lot of men have told me that they've been abused. And listen, I will tell you of a story, no names or anything, but this guy said to me that he was abused when he was younger by the gas man. And what you have to understand, the mother sent him down to the basement to go and get the gas meter checked, take the gas man down. It took a matter of minutes for him to do whatever he had to do. And this guy basically went and told his mom, he was from the Jamaican community, and he went and told his mom that, look, this is what happened. His mom told him, dismissed it totally. So he grew up afterwards like being quite promiscuous, had a bit of a disrespect for women as well. And I don't know if that's come from his mum not doing something. And what people have to understand, even the mum not doing something, you don't know it until you're in that situation. What do you do? How do you get your justice at a time like that? Maybe now it's a lot easier. I think it is. But what people have to understand when it comes to crime, the police do the bare minimum. And if you're of colour, you're royally screwed, really. And a lot of the time it is by the witness, the person who's been the victim, in how they articulate themselves, and how, if they've got a good memory, like you say, certain incidences they remember. You don't have to remember dates, but you can remember, like, okay, what was on maybe EastEnders, what was going on at that time. You know, certain things you can trigger your memory. And a lot of people don't I honestly think a lot of people experience pedophilia, men and women, whatever race you are. Because, you know, I know a friend, like, she's from the white community, and she goes, no, it happens. She remembers people flashing at her when she was in her school uniform. I clearly remember.
Yeah, that was something in the era. Definitely, that was very rife when I was growing up. Flashes, yeah, that was normal.
Well, this is what I'm saying. You know, I mean, the guy who I was told you in question that was talking about the gas man, he goes, no one would believe me, and I'd be like, you'd be surprised who will, because it's by the information you give. And they,
now they would believe, sister. I know a very similar story from that era as well, and it was a friend of mine, in fact, my godbrother, who remembers being about 8 or 9 years old in a tailor shop, which was very normal at the time to be in a tailor shop, getting measured up for a suit or whatever. And he was there with his mum, and his mum obviously left him to the tailor to be measured, turned her back, probably was looking at stuff in the shop, and right there on the spot, with his back to the mother, he abused the boy while he was measuring him. And that's how slick and quick they can be.
It's quick and fast. It is so fast that people wouldn't understand. Like, they'd be like, oh, why didn't you tell? Why didn't you? Not everyone deals with trauma differently. Everyone deals with things differently. And that's what you've got to understand. It's different strokes for different folks.
Absolutely.
So you can't judge people.
Sis, let me let Hannah come in. She might want to respond to some of what you were saying, yeah?
No, I completely agree with you. You know, like I'm a type of person that talks, so I'm learning that, you know, not everybody talks, not everybody speaks up, and it's horrible to be even put in that situation. So, you know, I feel for all the children that are that don't speak. You know, but that's why it's important for me to make this as public as possible, so that people do start talking and keep talking. You know, because it's not nice what these children have to go through, and it's not nice the way people can slander people, you know, and especially this nonce. He forgets I'm the mother to his 2 children, you know. You know, I still have to raise this man's 2 children, you know. So why would anybody lie like such a thing? It's just crazy. So
Absolutely. It comes with its own stigma, doesn't it? To admit that your baby father is actually a nonce. That comes with its own set of problems and stigmas.
That's hard.
No one's going to tell a lie on themselves like that, because really you'd be telling a lie on yourself and your daughter and his kids, your other children.
100%. You know what I mean? And I have to deal with that. So, you know, he's being very selfish and just thinking about his image and thinking about himself. That's all he cares about, is his image, which is why, you know, I'm on this platform, because
he seemed to be quite, I got that impression he was quite money motivated. He sort of seemed to mention money quite a bit. And I got the impression that he wasn't in a great state, and then he became in a better situation. But I think, I don't know, did you find he was a bit of a gold digger? Like,
no, when he was with his ex, she was on benefits and she didn't want him to work, according to him, because she didn't want to mess up her money. So they had a joint benefit claim. She put him on the tenancy, you know, and he was just growing his weed, selling his weed, making his little money. But with me, I let him go to work. I didn't put him on my tenancy. I helped him get his CCTV and his security license. And he was able to get a job making over £1,000 a week, you know?
Right, so, okay, yeah. I think also he kind of targeted, like, your vulnerability. You made a comment about there was someone who had passed away, and that's what paedophiles do. They actually do that. They will find something vulnerable. Because, look, you seem like quite an articulate person, but I look at it, you don't have to be a certain level to get tricked by these guys, to be sort of drawn in. Like I say, they are somebody's brother, somebody's you know, they've got children, they've got wives, they've got mums, there's more victims than just like the actual victim. Do you see? There's you,
And
there's
that's what he
your
used to
family.
always say. He used to always say, I've got sisters, I grew up around women. Most of his family are women, you know, his sisters and his nieces and cousins and that. So he's like, I would never do such thing to a woman or a female or a child, you know? And it's like,
yeah, but that's a bit off-key to say. That's an off-key thing to say, like, oh, I would never rape, I would never do. You don't. That's quite specific. You know, most men, when I talk to them, they'll be like, that's a disgusting thing. If anything, they don't even want to bring it to their mouth. So the fact that he will say, I wouldn't do, I'm not a rapist, that's just a weird statement, I find.
he would say things, he would say things to my daughter, like, if I did anything to you, you would say anyway, you know, you'd speak, you know, like right in front of her. So she has to say, like, yeah, I would speak, you know, like he's checking to see if she's going to say something or not, you know?
Yeah,
it's a little bit like you know, the whole Jamaican thing with gay men. Batty man for dead, batty man for dead, batty man for dead. They're just on it 24/7. But you find out that so many of them bad men that are on it like that are actually now being exposed.
Well, okay.
Being dealers themselves, a bit like Diddy, right?
On that. Okay, look,
So, yeah,
I've always been
Hold on, sis,
yeah,
let me learn. It's not dissimilar to that with people that are into children. They will, some of them, especially in our community, will be on it, will be saying, oh my God. I mean, we saw that with the Punroy case. He was the biggest yard man to bun gay people and pedophile and do whatever. And meanwhile, he was abusing his own daughter. So, I
mean,
he who sings the loudest, right? The loudest drum.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you're a singer, and I look at a lot of people when they do music, they talk about what's quite close to their heart, right? They talk about in terms of like their experiences. That's what inspires them. And something which, when I used to listen to like black music, I used to find, okay, they talk about love is one of the subjects, and then Jaja's another one, like religious, and the next one was kill the Batty Man. And I thought, but if there's no Batty Man in Jamaica, where are they getting? Why is it a problem? So I always wondered as well, because that's another thing. Pre Jimmy Savile time, when I used to talk to black people, no one mentioned paedophilia, and I couldn't believe that this wasn't the case, because I think paedophilia is like as old as like you get prostitution, they say. But I look at it, abuse of women and children has been from day one, from the start of time.
Can I ask you, why were you shocked that the black community didn't talk about it when you'd come from the Bangladeshi community that definitely don't talk about it?
Because I always found one thing which I admired about black people is that they were quite straightforward. They didn't care. Well, I mean, things have changed now. Right. People are quite. Right. I always found they spoke their mind. That's what I liked. I'm that type of character, so I could kind of relate. I mean, they always used to call me feisty, but I think that was because I said it as I saw it, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I do it. If it's on my watch, then don't do it on my watch if you don't want me to comment. That's how I look at it. So I've always been that, even from being from my community, I've always got into that trouble where I've just said what I've seen. And, that's probably where I'm not. I suppose when I look at it, they didn't. Maybe it's my background being brought up like in London and being brought up really. I mean, I come from a community where my father was a very wealthy man, and he helped a lot of people from not just the Asian community, from other communities as well. And he was a businessman, so he used to be in the rag trade. So he had a few factories. He gave a lot of work to the women, especially, and gave them cash in hand, that type of thing.
So basically, you expected, because the black community was so outspoken, you would have expected them to be talking about that as well as the Batty Man and whatever.
Yeah. I really, but I've knew, because I've been around all communities, I knew it was, like I say, every woman I've asked, whatever color, whatever race, They have said to me they specifically remember an incident when they were younger of a man doing something pervy with them, be it whether they were, do you see what I'm saying? Like touching or even saying something. So that's quite alarming. And I'm quite of an age, so I'm not a young thing. So that shocked me. So it's only once after Jimmy Savile and all that came out, I thought I knew it. You know, back in the days with those Asian guys up in Rochdale, they've approached me. Those type of guys have approached me. I've been saying this from 20, 30 years ago. And, you know, they go for people who are vulnerable, who either be children in care or their parents don't, you know, really see what they're doing. You know, kids shouldn't be out by a certain time. And they know how to target these women. And as a young girl and being of, you know, I'm not like blowing my own trumpet, but I was very attractive when I was younger. And I got into situations where I knew they would want to do some harm to me. And they were men much older than me. It was scary. It was very scary. And so I'm going by my own personal experience. And I look at it that a lot of guys, when they do these pervy things, I've made allegations of, like, you know, sexual harassment. I get it all the time when I'm traveling back and forth on the trains and things like that. You know, I believe in, you know, I should be able to go A to B without getting sexually harassed. And it don't matter what you look like. Absolutely. You know, if I go out, it'd be like certain girls will say, oh, but you're attractive, what do you expect? No, that's my right to be able to go about A and B. And men will say it as well. So I would ask men that are straight, would they appreciate it if a batty man and a coarse one come up and started harassing them?
Well, let's not use that term. We used it for the context of how Jamaican people talk, but we're not using it. We're not using that term. It's highly derogatory.
Yeah, but do you understand what I'm saying? It's like,
no, I get exactly what you're saying. But look, the time for speaking out is now, isn't it? That's what it is.
Yeah,
but sis, listen, we're gonna wrap up soon. I'm gonna wrap up with Hannah. Thank you for sharing, sis, and thank you for giving us your insight. Yeah, I'm sure I mean, I was quite sad to hear what I had to hear. I haven't really come on your show and watched. I couldn't really get a lot of it. It's a shame, but you know, I say good on you and good luck, and you will heal in time. Your relationship with your daughter will be much closer. There will be times when it will be up and down, but every cloud has a silver lining, and that was a heck of a cloud. But you know, I take my hat off to you and thank you for sharing your story. And you've done a really good service to the community, because it stops it. You might not stop it completely, but a lot more parents will be aware of who he is. And that's the whole point of these sort of shows, because we might not be able to get justice in terms of legal justice, but at least people are aware and they can prevent it. They can make it more harder for these nonces to do what they're doing. 100%. Thanks, Naz. Take it easy, my sister. All right. Blessed love. Yes, my sister Hannah, and there you have it. So you've done your job. You've done right. And Fiona Williams says, Hannah, please tell your daughter sorry from the bottom of your heart. Please forgive yourself as well. God still loves her, even if you are struggling right now. Yeah, I think that's a really sweet message. Yeah. Really, really sweet message. Yeah, so, guys, we're going to do the His Time Is Up vote. Put up a 1 if you think Hannah's lying. Put up a 2 if you think Leon and his family are lying and Abba is complicit. Let's have a look what the verdict is, guys. For want of a better term. If you'll pardon the pun. Yeah. It's coming up. It's going up. Wow.
Well, I hope
it's like, you
know,
I
hope people watch.
It's you know.
Is it back?
Sorry? Say again, sis. Say again, Hannah. I think we've lost sound on you.
I said, I hope he does get to watch this back, and he sees that he's not going to win this time.
Yeah, you know, I hope justice is served. I hope that the CPS do their job, the police do their job. You know, that's always what we hope, because we don't have much faith in them to do their job.
I don't.
And I really, really hope that you guys get that justice. You know, this is one form of justice, I suppose. You know, it depends on how you look at it. It certainly raises the awareness. It alerts the community in ways that the police refuse to do, that the law refuses to do. And we believe that the law protects these people and puts victims out to wash. This is what they do. So that's why
and he doesn't like the embarrassment and shame. So I'm going to bring it to everybody's attention, because he wants me to hide away, and I'm not going to.
Good for you, my sister. And you know that we're going to be working in the background with you and keeping up with what's happening with the investigation. All the support that you need is there. You know we'll be talking, my sister.
Thank you.
You go, girl.
Power to my people.
Blessed love, my sister. And big up neighbor in the background there. Big up neighbor for her support. Bless up neighbor. Bigger up. Good for you, man. I know that, listen, your daughter has a very, very strong mother. She does, and she's going to be okay. You're all going to be okay. When all this is said and done and you look back, you know, you're, like I said, you're just a baby. You're younger than my oldest, and you've had a lot to deal with in your young days, in your young time, little sister. You've had a lot to, but let me tell you, you're built for it, and I think you know that as well. You're built for it. You will get through this, and those babies are going to stay babies forever. They will not. As you cling, as you're quint, as my father would say, it will be. Listen, as you quint, trust me.
I know, and I've got to explain to them who their dad is. So.
It's going to be a hard one, but you know what? Honesty will be the best policy. And, you know, if you nurture them and you grow them up in a way that they can receive that information at some point, they'll be okay too. You're going to be all right, sis, yeah? And we'll talk.
Thank you.
All
Appreciate
right,
you.
Appreciate you. Blessed love, sis.
You too. Thank you.
Bless up. There we have it, people. Very compelling stuff. As I say, this man has not been found guilty in a court of law. Let's hope that due process is served. But, you know, this is very compelling, and I'm inclined to agree with the sister. That is my honest opinion. I'm inclined to agree with the sister or to believe the sister. You know, it's just why? Just why? Abba has a lot to answer for. Abba has a lot to answer for because they're keeping it in the family. They are... Oh, Hannah's back. Hold on. I wonder if she knows she's back. Do you know that you're back on, sis? Did you want to say something else? You're back on. I don't think you mean to be back on, sis.
No, oh, no, my phone was... Yeah, my phone was just acting up. Sorry.
That's all right. Young sister there. Sister tells no lies. I've seen too much evidence to think that she's lying about anything. Everything she said checked out with what Leon was saying. And Leon, I think you've got a lot of hard thinking to do, my boy. I think you do. And I think that you tried your hardest to stop this going out today. I don't think Hannah's going to be arrested because she hasn't done anything wrong apart from tell her truth. You know, it's not criminal for what she's done. And we've provided her the platform to do that because we saw the evidence prior to speaking to you or your father. And that's the way that we work here. So it's unanimous. I think I've never seen it unanimous. Maybe once I've seen it unanimous. It's usually like maybe one or two people that aren't totally convinced. But unanimous, absolutely unanimous. Unanimous. It's usually outweighed when we do take a vote. You know, it's usually kind of like maybe 2 to 100 or whatever. But unanimous tonight. Very interesting, people. So next week we are going to talk about I'm going to bring you guys up to speed. We might be sharing another testimony, another story, but I'm not sure yet. I've got some more bits to do on that. And so therefore I'm going to bring you up to speed. We'll see what happens during the week anyway, people. Make sure that you enjoy your weekend, guys. Big up to all the mods as usual. Big up to all the members. Please make sure that you like this live so that the message gets out there. We need it to get out there, especially with guys rolling around on bail with sign-ons. having been arrested for multiple different things. I mean, it's just, why bail him then and let him sign on? He signs on once a week. The system has to change, people. It is so frustrating, and it's more than frustrating. It is dangerous. It is dangerous. If these allegations are true, this individual abused this Sister Hannah's daughter while he's still on bail for abusing the other stepchildren, but yet you still keep bailing him. It's just ridiculous. I know the prisons are full, but you did empty out how many spaces the other day? I mean, my God, are we safe? Be aware, single women, single sisters out there that want a bit of company, that want a man in their house. Just be aware. Just vet that brother before you bring him in. Do you understand what I'm saying? You have to know him outside of the house. You have to have a good period of time where you inspect this brother's character and you drill down in it. He doesn't have to know that's what you're doing. But you must have your boundaries, especially if you've got young children in the house. You know, you've got to have your boundaries. And I don't know how that is going to get through. And we always see the default position. You know, even sister, she was very brave to fess up to the fact that she didn't believe the first sister. That was a very brave thing to do. I hope you guys recognize that. You know, she said she didn't believe her because she went with the narrative as usual. She went with the narrative as usual. You know, listening to the guy that, yeah. Yeah, I've just received a message actually from someone is saying that it's Leon's ex-sister. I'm hoping she... Oh. Right, I don't know if she wants me to read it, but I think I will. She sent it. Maybe not. Maybe not. But yeah. I'm going to put it out there. I don't know if I'm going to read the whole message, but I'm going to put it out there. Sisters saying they knew nothing of it. And yeah, we should emphasize that. Maybe that wasn't clear. That wasn't coming through clear. They knew nothing of his nastiness. And that's why they took the great move. They took the big step and the great move of bringing it to their father and trying to confront the situation. Do you understand what I'm saying? There were certain things that went on in that recording that started to reveal certain children. And I didn't want to play all of it. We heard first names, but that just could be just about anybody. But there's stuff that goes a little bit deeper further on in the recording. So I didn't want to play that, sister. It's clear that you're watching. I didn't want to play all of it. But you know, yeah, she says her sister knew nothing of it. And like Hannah, he completely manipulated them. Yeah, and they took the kids and left, yeah, trying to keep the kids from around him. It's a big shock to the system. Yeah, well, he's known to be violent. And that he loves guns. We know that. We've got pictures of him with guns, actually. We know he loves guns, and he actually converts guns. He converts air rifles, and he said that he was a pest control guy. You know, they shoot pigeons and stuff, don't they? Or vermin, and he converts those into real guns. So he's actually quite obsessed with guns. And he did say in a few of the recordings that I've certainly got, and he said it to me, actually, I don't mind being a witness with the police. If they want to contact me, they're open to do that. Hannah has my details. They're probably watching. I think they are. He did say to me that, you know, people are going to get hurt. I didn't play that because that will be evidence as well, the things that he said on that recording. And there's a lot that he sent to my phone that is very incriminating. And this message is interesting. We literally just saw it now, guys, as I was about to sign off. He's very aggressive and narcissistic. His sisters were scared of him. It's not his sister, actually. It's the ex. It's the ex's sister. Sorry, guys. It's the ex's sister. But I know his sisters also don't understand what's going on. You heard that from the recording. But I'm going to read this. Yeah, I'm going to read this. She clearly would want me to, I think. It says, "Hi, Afua. It's Leon's ex's sister. I think that's what she's trying to say. My sister knew nothing of his nastiness, and like Hannah, he completely manipulated her. The day she found out, she took the kids and left and went straight to the police. Yep, I'm aware of that. She took them to a safe place because he's known to be violent. The same day, he sent messages saying he missed her and the babies. He loves guns. He made my sister bankrupt. He constantly wanted things like bikes, air guns, etc. And she didn't buy, which she didn't buy. If she didn't buy it, he would get angry and make the house a misery, and brought things from her Amazon account for them. She is disabled and he was her carer. He drugged her with medication. She has never been a crackhead. He did tell me that she was a crackhead as well. She has never been a crackhead. He said he felt emasculated. So that's what you hear at the beginning of the recording when he's saying that she was a crackhead. He's talking about this woman here who accused him of molesting her children. He said he felt emasculated, so she bought him a van so he could start a business. He worked one job before he gave up. He didn't want to work. He didn't want to work. He just wanted to smoke and play with his guns and smoke, which is something Sister Hannah bore witness to, but except she weren't having it. He was aggressive and narcissistic, and my sister was scared but also trapped. My sister and children are still suffering from him abusing the young girls, and she wants nothing to do with him or his family. Hannah is right. They are like a cult, and I am sickened to learn his family knew what he was before he got with my sister. He's a massive hypocrite about his way of life, made the kids do Shabbat, which is the Hebrew Sabbath on a Friday, made the kids do Shabbat and would be watching cage fighting on YouTube. Wow. Okay. He never wanted to leave my sister. He sent messages begging her to come home. The night she ran with the kids because he's dangerous and needs locking up. His family profited from my sister, as he would say, Abba needs money for this and that, this and that. And if she didn't give it to him, he would get angry. Leon knew my sister was vulnerable, and he's obviously lied to Hannah about her to get into Hannah's good books at the time. He is dangerous and needs to go back to prison. Wow. Can I hear a BBC? A blood clot. Wow. And I didn't mention that we, are in communication with the other sister. Didn't mention that. But she's just sent a text that she clearly wants me to read. I hope I'm right. Hannah's got to come back on. I thought this live was going to end, but it isn't. Lord have mercy. Yes, Hannah, did you hear that?
Yes, big up Kelly, sister. Big up. Thank you. You know what? I thought you were going to say that.
You sound a bit muffled, babe.
I said thank you. I'm glad that she come on and that she spoke her piece.
That she sent that, yeah. Bless up for that. Bless up for that. Honestly, that really gives us some extra context to the whole thing, I think. Yeah, I think that gives us some extra context, doesn't it? And, let's hope that she's able to be called as a witness when this thing goes to the courts. It better do. I tell you, we'll be demonstrating outside the CPS for this one. We really will. It better do. There's been too many allegations, too many. And the police are aware. It's not like people just, apart from the first one, which he was 16, that was kept in the family. But you guys have gone to the police time and again. But yet they've still bailed this man on the streets. It's ridiculous. It really is. Your mic is hella muffled, sis. You might have your finger on it.
I said he's there's too much evidence against him this time, so let's hopefully they piece it together in the right manner and present it to the CPS sooner rather than later.
Exactly. Yeah, that was compelling. But yes, thanks for coming back on. I know you had to comment on that one. That took me by surprise as well. All right, my sister.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bless up. Wow. Well, what is it my mother and father used to say? When trouble take you, pick the shot it, I go fit you. Fire there was still them think a cool breeze. And I think I think he knew really. I don't think that one applies to him really. Trouble take you, Leon. Yeah, trouble really take you. and your true nature has been revealed, my brother. According to these witnesses, it's all very compelling. So many people can't be saying the same thing, and so many children cannot be accusing you, children that don't know each other, of exactly the same level of abuse, which I'm not going to reveal the level here. That's something for the courts. But that alone is gonna nail your coffin. You have a pattern, Leon. You have a pattern of abuse. If those allegations are true. Guys, wrap it up. I'll see you guys next week. Right here on YouTube, 9 o'clock as always, Fridays with Community Conversations. Big up, big up, big up, big up, big up, everybody. And listen, whatever you're doing this weekend, make sure you enjoy it. Make sure that you live it to the fullest. We are winding down off of this year. We are. And 2025 is going to be an extremely challenging year for all concerned, let me tell you. So make sure that you live it to the fullest right now, guys, and you enjoy it, and you enjoy who you're doing it with. Blessed love, my people. Blessed love, blessed love. Blessed love. How the machines are so really, really, really bad tonight. Really bad tonight. Trying to turn this thing off. It's not even doing that. It's not. Blessed love, people. You don't know.